Ooh, that's a funny camera angle. Ooh, come away now. Hello and welcome to... No, it's not Warhammer Sunday. Nearly said that then. Welcome to another last minute live stream. It's one of those things where I need to get some stuff done and it's either decals or simple weathering. So I figured I might as well keep you company for a while. While I'm doing this, it also works as mojo for me because it gets me at the table doing stuff that otherwise I might be like, oh, I might just do something else. So it keeps me at the table and it gives you guys something to watch. Apologies for the late start. I was hoping to have started like about 3 o'clock, but my iPad had an update last night and now I can't get live chat on my iPad unless I load the entire YouTube page. I had to figure all that out. Something's broken basically. Apple have changed something, or YouTube have changed something, so... but yes, hello and welcome. I'm just working on my decals for the Strike Rouge Autori today. Had to dive back into it, finally got a chance to dive back into it, so we're getting the decals on this puppy done. I've already done quite a few on bits here and there. Got some bits and bobs done on the legs, which you can't really see because I'm all zoomed out the way, all the way out. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Zooming in a little bit, or quite a lot. Yes, so I can't have the camera closer because I'll bang my head on it. Yes, so I've got you know, some of the decals on the legs and arms and bits like that, and bits and bobs, but there's lots more to do. Let's have a look at the arm and just give the arm a quick dust. Because it's been a few days since I've touched these, I've had a bit of a dust build up. So I've got some bits on the arms. Now the armour's only on there loosely. I've not put it on fully because I've got to take it off again. It's only on there loosely for now. So we've got lots of decals done. The other reason I'm doing this today and I had to stop was because I ordered a set of DL decals. I had a set of DL decals, but they were partial. They had lots of bits missing. So I ordered a set of DL decals, which are the unofficial, not Bandai, third-party decals, but they do seem to be, I've not used them yet, but the ones I've used off the other sheets, and these seem to be incredibly good quality. So I ordered some of these. It took a while to get here from China, but they've arrived. So I've got lots of decals. The reason I ordered this was I needed the decals for the backpack, for the Striker backpack, but that didn't have any on the sheet that I had, so I had to order that. Right, so let's have a quick look at chat and see who is in. It's not like a Warhammer Sunday this. We're not going to be doing any, you know, wheel giveaways or anything like that. Might do some stickers, but we'll see how it goes. I say I was hoping to start this about, midday, but then other bits had to pop out and it didn't quite happen. So let's have a look and see who is in. I struggle with the chat a bit today because I've had to come up with a sort of workaround solution to actually see it. Dad is in. Hey Dad, Dad's one of your mods for today. Christopher Combs says hello Christopher, not seen you here before. Oscar Largo Sanchez says he loves me. There you go, brilliant, fantastic. Carl at Maker Models is in. Welcome Carl. Dave Wise the Rum Gun Barker is in. Hey Dave, let's have a look. Richie Paul Carlson, Apple doesn't break things, they call them Apple perks, lol. Yes, pretty much. Or character flaw. No, what's the thing? When you get a car... Oh, hello, what was that? That was... Rat Pack Norge donated £5. Thank you very much, dude. That's very, very kind of you. You are super, super awesome. I'll explain about the health bar in a minute, so you know what that is. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Ascension Industries is in. What was I talking about? I was about to say something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Ascension Industries is in. Hi guys, I see it is a Foxy live stream. Certainly is. Nim is in. Nim Cinder in. Faisal is in. How's everyone doing? I'm fine, thank you, Faisal. Hold your fire. Will there be any soft drinks? The hot drinks. I've got my enormous coffee, which is actually that big. Yes, a night of Gumpler, says William Wilms. Well, I'm going to be on for... I've got to go make the dinner at some point, so I'll be on for maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and then I'm hoping to join Chris from Gross Models, his live stream at 8 PM tonight, so only for a few hours. Jerry's in, welcome Jerry. Jamie Bone is in, hey Jerry, Jamie, and Jerry. Mitch, oh my god, oh, it's moved, chat moved. It's not easy to do it when it's not the normal way. Oh my god, I see Gundam parts again, finally, yes. It has been ongoing in the background, it's just I've not had a lot of time to crack on with the Strike Rouge. Have fun guys, my connection is bad here, so I'm going to leave it, please, plus still at work. Okay, well thanks for popping in, Jerry. Maybe you'll be around when you come back. He's dismembered a tiny robot, says John Bias. Hey John. Mark Scale Models is in, hi all, welcome. Adrian Levy is in. Petropf is in, hello guys, he says, and Rat Pack 30. Hey Rat Pack. Yes, thank you for that little donation. If you are wondering, I do live off your subscriptions and other things. It keeps me... This is what I do for a living, so this helps me out. So if you would like to help out the channel and keep it going, get this out of the way first, you can. Either you can support me on Patreon, which is patreon.com/modelmakingguru. My patrons keep me going. They keep the lights on and keep this channel going. If you want to do just a one-off thing, you can do a tip jar tip, which is streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru, if you just want to block something through. We are doing a stream boss battle at the minute, and viewer Aviad Madar is the current stream boss, where every time you do a tip or a super chat, if you want to do a chat in the chat window if you're watching, if you do the little $sign, the super chat, that means your chat goes in a big coloured box and I get to see the comment, because then it puts a little noise through as well. If you do a super chat or you do a tip jar tip, it does take a little bit of Aviad's health off. He's currently on 80,254. And every little tip and super chat whittles away at that. And everybody who subscribes who isn't already subscribed, that also whittles a bit of his health down. The bigger the tip or the bigger the super chat, the more health comes off. And whoever gets him to 0 can potentially win between 200 or 300 quid's worth of Games Workshop kits of their choice. So it's worth doing it, because you can get 200 or 300 quid's worth of gear. Might take a while. He's been going for a few weeks. So yes, you can do that. But yes, welcome to everybody. Let's have a think. What are we doing? So yes, we are doing decals. I'm going to try not to talk at top speed like I did on Sunday's show, which was a bit rubbish. But I'm a bit stressed and sweaty because everything wasn't working when I first started to, you know, fix the chat. Some bad news, Dad. I was going to use your dad's devices that I discovered. Your wet palette was brilliant as a decal tray. However, I did notice just before we went live that it's not exactly 100% waterproof or watertight, so there was a bit of wandering liquid on my desk. So I've had to retract that for now and put it back onto the metal tin. So I hadn't forgotten that. That was a nice little decal dish, that, even though it's a wet palette. It'll still be fine as a wet palette, but it's a great little decal dish, that. Let's have a look. Bjorn says name. That's Ratpack30. Dad says, hey, Ratpack30, long time no speak, Alex. And Nimsinu says Bjorn. So Dad says, oops, sorry, Ratpack, wrong one. Lol. It's okay, Dad says. Sergeant Bones is in. Welcome, Sergeant Bones. Mitch, watching, listening to you build Gumplet is pretty much my favourite thing on YouTube. It's like comfort food for my brain. I don't put a lot of... I don't really tax people's brains much, let's be honest. I don't make your brain do too much. But yes, it's just have this on in the background. It's nice and waffleless. I'll be working on my decals. If you've got any questions, because this is, if you have me on in the background, ask me questions. I'll try and make amusing things out of them. Ask me questions. You can put a question in the chat if you are watching in the. You can see the chat here on the telly, but if you want to actually join in the chat, you need to be on the YouTubes. As I found out, it's a bit of a ball ache trying to find chat on an iPad. You have to make sure, go into YouTube, and you have to make sure you're looking at through a browser, not through the app. And then you have to also, well, you can do it through the app, but it's not very good. If you're doing it through a browser like Chrome, you have to go to the menu option and do request desktop version, and it's underneath the video, and it's rubbish, it's terrible. Yes, if you want to ask a question, please do pop it through chat. Do it in big fat capital letters so I can't possibly miss it because my chat's over there. Or if you want to me even more, obviously not, or you know, reduce the risk of me missing your comment even more, do a super chat, little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat. It pops it through in a big colour box and makes a little noise and puts a little animation on the screen up there somewhere, so I can't possibly miss it. So what we're doing, yes, let's get some decals done. I will start by asking you all, what are you up to on this fine, whatever day it is today, Thursday or something, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday? I don't even know what day it is. During the week, I don't know. If it's Thursday, I've got to put the bins out. What day is it? Let me, hang on, where's my phone? Right, I don't even know where my phone is now. I put my phone down somewhere and it's gone. Never mind. I can't check what day it is. It's a day, probably Thursday. What day is it, everybody? Is it Thursday or Wednesday? I've got no idea. If it's Thursday, it's bin day. So, let's hope it's very warm as well for some reason. Very warm today. Right, let's see what we've got. So what are you guys working on? How are you and what are you working on at present? I am working on this. This is my Strike Rouge Uotori, which is a Patreon build for patron Jordan. I've got 2 patrons who currently support me at the $100 or more a month level. As a result, they get a master grade kit or of their choice. Jordan has asked me to make the Strike Rouge Uotori, but in purple, not pink. So we've got purple colours going on, some rather awesome purple colours. And not particularly strongly weathered either. not lots of, a little bit of weathering. So I've not made the Oratory backpack yet, and I've painted or got all the base colours down for the Strike Rouge suit. I'm just doing the decals now. Then I need to gloss it and do a little tiny bit of weathering, and then we're good to start on the backpack. I've also got a Master Grade Sazabi Vercar to do for George, which should be not long after this is finished. Right, so I'm marking off the decals I've done as I've gone along. 56. That's that one. I think we're doing arm things, aren't we? I think we're doing arm time at the moment. We've done that one. We've not done that one, or that one, or that one. So we need 2 50s, 4 50s. Okay, we need 4 number 50s to go on arms. Do. And they need to go on. They need to go on a part of the arm that is there and there. It's going that bit, that bit, and also that bit there. And it needs to go on the top part as well. Top part of the arm. Now I need to keep these separate, don't I? Because, or do I? Metal Gear. To pop that out. Was that a bad thing to do? Was that a good thing to do? I don't know. That can go on there. Ooh, bit dusty. Woohoo! For those of you who haven't watched this yet, or seen any of the episodes in this build series, there is a playlist on my channel for this build. But if you haven't seen any of them yet, the inner frame has been painted with, it was primed in gloss black, UMP gloss black. It was then given a base coat of, where does that part go? You know, your brain suddenly doesn't work. It was given a base coat of one of the Vallejo metal colours. I can't remember which one. It might have been duraluminum, but I'm not sure. And then it was given a coat of C1 Metallizer buffing powder, which is why I'm wearing the gloves, because it's not sealed in or anything. I've noticed these gloves I've got, they go yellow, and I don't quite know why. After you've been wearing them for a little bit, they seem to go yellow. It's weird. It's like I've been like just had 35 cigarettes in my hand and been just, but I've not. Right, so we've got those. So we need to keep these. I think these are both the same though, aren't they? These arm parts. They're not actually chiral, so I don't need to worry too much if I get them mixed up. Do not think they're chiral. No, they're exactly the same. Okay, that's cool. That's the thing, is I have to keep an eye on which bits are left and right bits, and which bits are chiral and which bits are just generic and can go on either side. What's chat saying? I'm at work all night, says William Wilms. At least nobody is here, so I'm snapping together an RE100 Gundam Mark III. Cool. Nim is dry brushing his custom Leo after post pre-shading. Dave Riserum Gombarka says all the AOS bases in the world, Age of Sigmar bases. He's doing bases. Rat Pack 30 Bjorn is saying he has working on a Master Grade Sandrock, which he's painted into Sandrock Kai EW, and he's been holding off for a day now as he has to put decals on it. Decals are easy. Sergeant Moans is building Tiger Tracks, regretting not having bought metal ones. If you're making metal ones, if you're making plastic ones, yeah, you might regret having them if you have the option of metal ones. Oh, hello. Thank you very much, Nick Hayes, who just pledged £3 on Patreon. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. That's very, very kind of you. You are keeping the lights on. Thank you so much. Where was it? Edwin RSA. There's a new name. Welcome, welcome. He's working on HGUC GM and a 1980s old mold GM in tandem. Wow, there's a challenge working on old 1980s Bandai kit. Richie Paul Carlson says, Fox, you need to build a Bandai Star Wars figure kit perhaps. I know, not Gundam, but still. I might do it at some point. Figures aren't really my thing, but I might do it at some point. But in the future, in the very near future, is a perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Because I will be building it for my channel sponsors, emodels.co.uk, who will be stocking it. They're sending me one to build for their channel, so I'll be doing a perfect grade Falcon, yes. Which is much better than a figure. I do actually have a TIE Fighter and a Y-Wing over there on my desk that I need to do at some point. Let's have a look what else we're going on. Alpha Wolf 0623 is working on MG Camphor, just finished straight build, now seam line removal and prep for prime. Cool. The one thing I've done with this build, for the first time, I've not done this before, is I'm building it as a static pose build. So the shoulders are glued in place, the hips are glued into place and locked, the arms are locked in those poses, and the legs are locked in those poses, because it's going to be a standard, you know, kind of jumping in the air pose. So what I've done is, before I painted the inner frame, everything was the frame was assembled and then glued in place. It's an ABS frame, so if you're wanting to glue, here's a handy tip for you. If you're wanting an easy time painting your Gunpla, do it in a fixed pose. Doesn't really matter if you can't pose it. Once it goes on, if you're painting it, it's going to go on your shelf and be a shelf queen. You're never going to play with it. Just do it in a fixed pose. Makes life easy. You can build the inner frame and paint it in one go. If you are gluing the frame though, and it is ABS, then your standard glues, such as Tamiya Extra Thin, are useless. Useless, because there's no polystyrene in the plastic. It's ABS. I found you can use this stuff. Is brilliant. Plastic Magic from Deluxe. Available pretty much anywhere. It's thinner than Extra Thin, so you can just touch it to a joint. If you put two pieces together, like a knee joint, put them together, touch it to the joint, it'll set rock hard in about 24 hours. There is Tamiya ABS glue, but it's really, really thick. This is thin as water. It's thinner than Tamiya Extra Thin, so it doesn't leave any mess behind. That's what I used. So we're doing this as a test. I'm doing it as a fixed pose Gunpla. It just meant I could build the entire inner frame and then just paint it. Instead of painting hundreds of parts on sticks, I could build the leg, build the arm, build the torso, paint it. And it made life so much easier. It saved a week of fussing about with different bits on sticks. Jamie Bohm, gotta go, might go back later. I was going to answer Jamie's question as well. Jamie, if you're still there, tell me, because I can answer your question about Warhammer Conquest. In case you're watching this later, he's asking where you can get Warhammer Conquest issue 11. If it's out in shops now, wherever you normally get it, Asda, Co-op, newsagents, places like that. If it's actually out of print, you have to go to the Warhammer Conquest website and order it, because it's out of print. They kind of put them out each week if you're not subscribed, or you could just subscribe. Sergeant Bones has just discovered that he has an old Dugram mech circa 1979. Blimey Riley. Decals as in dry transfer, says Rat Pack 30, and I think wet slides as well. Yeah, I've got some dry rubs in this, but I'm not going to use them if I can avoid it, just for the potential of screw-uppage. LD, evening, afternoon, it's dark enough, says LD. Mitch says he wants to see you tackle a Zoid. I will do it at some point. I'll probably have to get some. Somebody was going to send me a Zoid at one point and never did. I'm sure there's somebody who was going to send me one. Some kind of pterodactyl thing I was going to be sent, and they never did. Carl says, right, got to shoot, it's home time, catch you all later. Thanks for coming in, Carl, see you in a bit. So Tamiya cement, let's start again. Rat Pack says, so Tamiya cement on Gunpla plastic is a no-no. Might explain why I've had a hell of a chance to get it to work. No, it's not a no-no. It depends on what the plastic is. If you go through your destructions, there's two types of plastic that Bandai will use. There's polystyrene and there's ABS. There's other types as well, but if you go through your destructions, you've got PS, polystyrene, PS, polystyrene. Inner frame parts, it says, I don't know if that's in focus, but it says ABS, which is, somebody can, if you want to, I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but it's buta something, buta something styrene. It's a different kind of plastic. It's not got any polystyrene in it. So Tamiya is a polystyrene welding cement. It will work perfectly on any of the parts that are labelled as polystyrene, but it won't work at all on the ABS parts because there's no polystyrene in there for it to melt and weld together. So that's where something like the Plastic Magic will work even better, because this works on pretty much any plastic. I don't know how it works. It obviously is different solvents. There are specific ABS glues. Tamiya do. I've got one here. Here's something you won't see very often. Tamiya actually do an ABS cement. And yes, over time it goes yellow in the bottle. However, the problem with this stuff is, apart from the fact it's really hard to find it, it's thick. It's like the normal regular Tamiya cement. It's really thick and goopy. Which, if you're it smells quite nice. Oh, wow. Whew. It's got a strong smell as well. You don't want to leave that open for more than 5 minutes. Whew, smells like the inside of a wood shop. It's really thick, so if you're gluing together small, like I said on here, let's say you're making this and you've put, there's a pointy stick. You've got the knee joint here and here, 2 different pieces. Under there's a second knee joint, and you want to lock it in that pose, or that bit there and that bit there. The difficulty is, if you've got a thick glue, you're just going to get a big blob of glue. If you get a really thin glue, you can touch it to the gap between the 2 pieces, and it will suck into the gap and weld it in place. That's why that Plastic Magic is really good, because it's as thin as water. It's thinner than the extra thin, so it's really nice. And when it dries off, it doesn't leave any marks. If you use the Tamiya ABS glue, it's like just using Revell glue. It's like you just have a mess. So you want something thin. So I think you can get that Plastic Magic pretty much anywhere. Let's have a look. That's why, of course, the living nightmare of Bandai plastic is that you can't use things like solvent-based thinners and washes, because the ABS will just dissolve, as will the polystyrene, because it's not baked, but the ABS is very susceptible to thinners as well. Has Bandai produced a model of Kylo Ren's TIE silencer? Asks William Wilms. I don't know. Acrylon nitrile butadiene styrene, says Dad. That's what it was. I kind of did know, I just couldn't remember specifically. I'm going to have to change my gloves. These gloves are a little bit too small. Earl D says, another crap day at work done. Yay. Nothing better than finishing a crap day at work, because it means the crap day at work is over. Right, should we do some work? So I need, I was going to do 50. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. To start with. I've got some other ones to do, but I'll just do the 4 on the arms first. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do 2 on the front, which is there, and which one is that one? Never know which is the top of the arm, actually, to be honest. Is the it is that one, I think that's the front. Let me have a look at my other strike, hang on. Yes, that is the front. Let's go on there, so 2 there and 2 there. Cool, that's easy McPeasy. Is there McPeasy? So let us find marking number 50. Here's what I'm having to do, because there's no official Bandai water slide set. Oh, there is an official Bandai, because I've got the official Bandai water slide set. For this, there isn't one for the Strike Rouge. This is the official Bandai water slide set for the Strike, the generic set. So it's got some markings for the Strike Rouge, but it's got markings for the other strikes as well. I don't think I couldn't find a specific water slide set just for the Strike Rouge, which is effectively what that is. So what I'm having to do is go off the stickers. I'm not going to use the stickers, but go off the stickers and dry rubs, find out which each one is, and then look for the similar one on the actual thing. So I want 4 number 50s. Number 50 is little box with dots. Millions of them on there. I think we can find that quite easily. Let me have a look and see. That's the dry rubs, don't need those. Little box with dots, where are you? Now sometimes when you get third-party decals, they're very good and they number them in the same way. However, number 50 on here is oh, you beauty, you absolute beauty. DL decals. Number 50 are these, which look pretty similar, but they are basically the same thing, and they are also marked 50. Oh, you absolute stunners. I love that. And I instantly like DL decals now a lot. I like DL decals now. Buy them all. Buy all of them. Just look at some of the other ones. 49. Where's 49? It's hard to see because they've used white. They've numbered them in white. 50, 51, 52. to... Yeah, they're pretty spot on. And they give you twice. They give you options for 52. They give you more than you need. We have 53 and 54. Are those? They're a match. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Makes my life so much easier. It looks like they give you more as well than you actually get on the sticker sheet. Kick ass. Who's that? Hasaki Art is in. Greetings, Mr. Fox. Welcome, welcome, Hasaki Art. Welcome to the stream. Don't think the silencer should be made, says Ascension Industries. Captain Weirdbeard says, I think Revell make the silencer. Yeah, we don't talk about Revell Star Wars in this house. I mean, we do, but we usually were pointing and laughing when we do. It's a sad day when your only option is a Revell kit. It's not a good day at all. And of course, when I'm saying a Revell kit, we are not referring to the reboxes of the fine moulds or the Bandais, because obviously they're not Revell kits, so they're not awful. They're good kits because somebody else designed them and made them. Sorry, it did look cheap, says Captain Weird, but yeah, it's a Revell kit. There you go. So what we're doing? So we've got these 4 little decals. I'm hoping they've all got individual filmings. Oops, ping. Should be. I can hear Mama Fox doing something downstairs. It's making me nervous. I don't know what she's doing. It's not like she's building or emptying out the fridge or something. I don't know what she's doing. Okay, so we've got that there. I'm going to put that in a little pile of water. I need a brush for the decals. Is that a decal brush? Where's my decal brush? I've got brushes set aside for things. I never know which one's which. That's for a Gorilla on Earth. That's not a decal brush. What's this one for? Canopy glue. No, that's not a decal brush. Oh. Do you know, when you have things set aside and then you forget where you put them? Yeah, it's one of them moments. Ugh, I'll just grab a brush. What's this one? This is a brush, that'll do. What are we doing? Right, so let's get some water on these. Apologies if my head keeps coming to shot. I don't know if it does. I'll try and make sure it doesn't. So if you've not done water slides before, it's fairly straightforward. Get them in the water, slide them onto the model, tamp them down. There you go. I have done a gloss coat before I did the decals. However, to avoid the monkey poop fight going on about whether you need gloss coat for decals or not, yada yada yada, I've put the gloss coat down because I'm going to be doing some pin washes later on. And I've done that now so that I've got the gloss coat down, get the decals on, I'll gloss coat the pieces with decals on again to seal them in. But then the pieces that don't have decals on, I can just have the one gloss coat and I can go straight in and do the decals. So I figured I may as well gloss coat it because a lot of the parts won't have gloss on them, decals on them. Gloss it all, do my decals, then give a second coat to the parts that have decals, and then I can just do my pin washing. So before anybody starts whinging, you know who you are, I've glossed it because I need to do it for later on for weathering. So there you go. Shut up. Fox, what size brushes do you use for your set and fix solutions? I use cheap old brushes that were about that big. I'm showing you a white brush on a white background. They're just cheap brushes I had in my pile of brushes that I didn't need. They're soft. Just make sure they're soft. That makes life easy. What are you doing, Mama Fox? I can hear you rustling and moving around downstairs.
Emptying bins.
Oh, she's emptying bins. She's emptying bins. Reminding me I've got to put the bins out. So it's Thursday. We now know, folks, it's Thursday because the bins go out on Thursday. Yes, it doesn't really matter about your Microset and Macrosol. Just don't use expensive brushes. Not really worth it. But yes, I use just small. Just make sure they're soft. They don't have to be big. Because the trick is when you're doing this, if you have done any kind of gloss coat, I need some tissue. If you have done any kind of gloss coat at all, if it's an acrylic gloss coat, it's not likely, but it is not impossible that you could potentially damage the gloss coat by putting on gallons and gallons of decal setting solution, because they are essentially I use Microset and Microsol, which are basically vinegar and tomato X20A, more or less. They're not quite, but they're very similar. So yes, I find that talking and trying to do something at the same time is really hard. I find that if you go in and just slap it around everywhere in gallons and gallons of it carelessly, what you can do is end up with the decal solution being so thick on the model that it eats into your clear coat if you've put one down. And then when you do any kind of weathering later on, you'll get all kinds of nasty tide marks and watermarks and stuff with any washes or anything you might do later on. So it's not ideal. So what you want to do is use, see, I haven't used any yet if you notice, but you want to use absolute minimal microsol and microset. And what I tend to do is just cover the decal and a little tiny bit around the edge, just enough for the solution to seep underneath. That's upside down, it's also falling apart, that's not good. Yeah, just enough for it to seep underneath so it can work its magic. I don't go spreading it everywhere, but I don't always use it. It's like, you know, you don't always have to. Why are you the wrong way around? Are you going to turn around? Or are you the right way around? I can't quite tell. You're going to be awkward and stay upside down now, aren't you? There we go. Just get some of the stuff on there. Make sure I'm actually not actually in focus there when I'm working on these, am I? I will. So I tend to try and be careful about the application of it. Just restrict it to where there is a decal, just so I don't risk my clear finishes or clear coats. But I've not used any yet. I'll show you in a moment. You don't always have to use them. For little tiny decals like this, you don't really need to use decal setting solutions. I might use some micro sol in a moment once they've dried for us after a second, just to, you know, get them to bed down a bit. But they are small and they're on a flat surface, so I'm not too fussed right now. If they were big massive decals, then I would as sure as hell want to make sure they were really sucked down onto the surface. So I'll be a little more in need of using them quite straight. I unstraightened it, there you go. But for these little tiny ones, they're really small. They're on a flat surface, so I'm not having to worry about it like going over an uneven surface or a textured surface. And they're kind of flat, so one coat of microsol might be enough just to get them to scrunch down. At the moment, this is just water, by the way. I'm just getting water on there so they stop moving around again, so I can get them lined up. There's a blackbird outside shouting at something. I'm not very happy, whatever it's shouting at. Oh, hello, throwing things around. Dibbity dibbity doo. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I've got that on the wrong way around, I think. Never mind. I've actually got that the right way around, or the wrong way around. I've forgotten how I'm doing the arms now. That's the right way around. Yes, there we go. I was panicking and thought I had their arms the wrong way around. Not when they're glued into position, I don't want them the wrong way around. Right, so I've got those 4 little decals on. So they'll all be dry by now, they're tiny. So I didn't use any microset because they're small and they don't really need to worry about them bedding down. So I've just got 2 different brushes, microset, microsol, and I've got my microset and microsol in my dad's anti-spillage device. So all I need to do is go in with a tiny amount, really tiny amount, and just touch it. I get the decal so I can see on the edge, so I can see the edges of it into the film, and just touch it to the decal and around the edge a little bit, just so it can get around the edge of it and soak underneath. And what the microsol will do is it'll go underneath it, it'll make it stretch out and squish back again, and then it'll be flatter to the surface. And that's all you're doing with these. Same with Mr. Mark, etc. and Softer. Microset and microsol are the same kind of things. I could be wrong, but Mr. Mark, etc. is like microset, and Mr. Mark Softer is like microsol. The only difference being that they're Mr. Hobby products, and they are a little stronger. They're a bit more aggressive than microsol and set. So what I was saying about your gloss coats, is doubly important with Mr. Mark Setter and Softer. That's that one. And a little bit of this on there. Just a touch. And what I'll do is I'll put them to one side, give it 5 or 10 minutes, and if they were still looking a bit ropey, or like they'll need any further work, I'll just put some more microsol on in a bit. Microsol, basically what it is, microset helps it suck down to the surface. Microsol does the same thing, but it also kind of, not quite, but it sort of almost eats away at the clear film a little bit and thins the decal. So as it gets thinner and thinner, the clear film becomes less and less obvious, and you lose that kind of edge. Sometimes you might see where the clear, if your decal's got a big massive piece of clear film around it, it might help, you know, hide that a little bit. So if you go too far with it, your whole decal will just start to look transparent because you'll be eating away at the decal. But if you just go gently, you'll be able to get the film down a little bit. But these are quite tiny, so don't to worry about that. Let's have a look. What is chat doing? Oops, chat is scrolling up the page. I'm also waiting on the let's start again. Rat Packs is also waiting on the Master Grade Strike Rouge, hoping I can take the Autori and IWSP from the Master Grade Strike and put it on the Rouge. You should be able to, because the suit from the Strike Rouge is just a normal Strike in pink. So I don't know for sure, but I'm fairly sure that the IWSP and the Striker backpack and the Autori all have the same attachment on the back, because it's the same, the actual mobile suit itself. As far as I know, I've only made, this is the first Master Grade Strike I've made. I would guess the actual mobile suit itself is the same one in different colours. Right, brew time. I can't imagine it will be different. Jason Cashner, greetings from Pennsylvania, watching on my lunch break. Enjoy the build series. Thank you very much, Jason. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're still with us. I always tend to mosey people after they've gone. What are you having for lunch? We need to know what you're eating for your lunch. And hello to everybody at Jason's work. I hope he's not stinking you out with like stinky fish or anything, because that's the worst thing when somebody in a canteen eats fish. It's like, just get out. Dave Barker says, hey Mama Fox, don't you let that bearded rascal get away with not putting the bins out. You're supposed to be resting. I put the bins out, don't worry about that. Well, the Mama Fox has taken over feeding the hedgehog, which is kind of weird. You set and solve for the first time the other day, and yes, I knocked the bottle over. Ooh, yeah, there's nothing worse, because if you knock one of these over, it empties. And it's really sad, because it's always taken me years to find these. For a long time, they're always out of stock in the UK, so it takes ages to find them. You need an anti-spillage device, Adrian, says Dad. Dad made this for me. Thin, thick, goo. Yes, this is my dad device, anti-spillage device. Dad, or Mike Mountain, or Dad as everybody calls him, likes to make things. So this is my anti-spillage device. It's fantastic. Decals time, says Dave's World. Yes. Adrian Levy, yes, ordered one. It came today. Yes, and so you've ordered an anti-spillage device. This glove is a bit too small. It's making my hand feel weird. It's a pack of gloves and it just says medium, but they're all different sizes. Some are massive and some are small. It's like a Tesco for you, isn't it? The Half-Sight says, hello Fox, did you check out Lincoln's latest video about that weird Spellmax airbrush thing? It's like a mix between that Gundam marker spray gun and actual airbrush. Seemed odd. Yeah, I saw that. It's weird, isn't it? It's like a big plastic thing. It's like an airbrush for beginners that takes out the thinking. So you've got the actual gun part, which is a single piece with the trigger, and then you get the bottle for the paint, which is actually also the nozzle. So when you want to, you just get the bottle full of paint, you lock it in place, and that's your nozzle. And you spray, take it out, put the next bottle of paint in. There's no nozzle to clean out because the nozzle's on the bottle. Put it in, and the bottle sits on top. It looks kind of awesome. I just think for what it is, it's a 0.4mm nozzle. Which is quite big, so it's great for priming and doing base colours on big models. I could see how it would be a great little tool to have in your arsenal for just that kind of, like, you know, rough and ready stuff. Like, I just need to get some primer on this model. I just need to paint this big model all green or all blue. I'm not doing fine work, just blap the paint on. I'm building a battleship, I need to paint it battleship grey. That kind of thing. But I don't know what the price is in the UK. He said it was something like $50-something Australian for the gun, and $50-something for the bottles, and you get 3 bottles. Oh, I'm like, $100, that's probably about 70 or 80 quid for that, when you could just get yourself an actual airbrush. with a lot more versatility. I mean, for an absolute beginner, it's a really good idea. And like I say, for something you just want to say, put primer on a model there quickly, it'd be brilliant. Because it'd be like, do it, all you've got to do is clean the bottle out. You've still got to clean the bottle out of the nozzle, but it's not like an airbrush with all the parts. But not at that price, I don't think. Not when you can buy a Spray Max bottle fed, vacuum fed, suction feed airbrush single action for like 40 quid. If it was a lot cheaper, I think it'd be absolutely mint, and I'd probably get one just for doing big. When I eventually get around to do my Space Battleship Yamato, I've got to. It'd be mint for that. Done. But no, not for $100 Australian, which is probably about. Somebody work out for me, because I can't do it now. What is? Let's just say 110 Australian dollars. I can't remember exactly. What does it work out to in UK pounds? I'm going to guess about 70 quid, which I think is a bit too much, because you can buy a Harder and Steenbeck beginner dual action airbrush for 70 quid. So, yeah. But it was good, I liked it. It was kind of mint, just a bit overpriced. Yes, ordered one, it came today, says Ed. I don't know what you're talking about there, Ed. Are you talking about that spray gun thing, or the anti-spillage device, or... I'm in Pennsylvania too, says Mitch. I'm just north of you in New York, says Nimcinderin. I don't get the marker sprayer, says Dave's World. No, I wouldn't get one. It's basically like an airbrush where you get a Gundam marker and you lock it in and it sprays the... Don't. I mean, don't use Gundam markers anyway, but... that Sparmax looks amazing for framing large areas, but looks cheaply made, and I expect it to last less than a year, says William Wilms. Yeah, it didn't look the most sturdy of things. I say it looks a really great idea. And it's a really good idea for absolute beginners, and it'd be really great if they'd been different sizes, like a 0.3, so you could do normal airbrushing. But I just think it's a bit overpriced. For what it is, $100 Australian, which is what? It's 56.94. Maybe then, I don't know. In that case, it's 60 quid. That's 30 quid for the gun and 30 quid for the bottles. 30 quid for the gun and the bottles would be a good price for that, I think. Like I say, you can go out and buy a Spray Max airbrush from Halfords for 40 quid, and that's I know it's a suction feed, it's a bottle on the bottom, but it's already better. That's okay, it's not as bad then. 56, let's say 60 quid. It's not as bad, it's still a lot, I think it's a bit too much. Alpha Wolf 0623 is in Kentucky, and Dad says, I love KFC. Yeah, apparently there's lots of fans on the east coast of the US, says Mitch. It might just be it's that time of day. But yeah, that thing does look great for... I would use that thing for priming large areas, like William says. Priming large areas, that kind of thing. It would be absolutely mint. I've got a sniffly nose, but I can't. I've got gloves on. Hang on. There we go. Right, where are we up to? So we did 4 decals, brilliant, and we've been going for about 45 minutes. It's not a good production rate. Oh, sniffly nose. Hang on. Sniffly nose, super match game. Sniffly nose. Nobody will get that apart from those of you in the UK. Right, more tissue for the decals. Apologies for the sniffage. Whenever I put the camera on, the lights on, I get the sniffles. I don't know why. So I need to mark off those 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have more? We have more 50s on the leg. But is that on the leg or is that on the framey bit? It is on the framey bit. Okay, there are some decals that actually go on the inner frame. Now I'm actually going to resist those for the moment, purely because I don't want to risk affecting the C1 metallizer coat. I'm not actually gloss coated over the C1 metallizer. I've left it as it is because that's the best way you get it looking like metal, and it's fairly durable. So I might not put the ones on the metal areas. Might leave those off. What else do we have? So 50, they've been done. We have... I'm doing it off camera. You guys can't see it, can you? What else do we have? We have... which ones haven't we done yet? 11 goes on there. 13 goes on there. I think I've done 13. When I do decals, everything becomes a mess. Trust me. I think I have done... Where's 13? 13... Got 13 somewhere. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Where did I put 13? Can't find it now. Oh, there it is. Yes, I've done 13. I've done 13. It's on that part there. Crotch piece. It's covered in dust. These are all covered in dust. It's terrible. Get off. 13's on. That's fine. That bit's been done. I decided to get a bit handy with the skirts. Let me just dust these off. They've been sat waiting for me to carry on, so they've picked up a bit of dust. I got a bit carried away with the skirts and got quite inventive with them. So I'll see if I can focus on that for you. Hang on. Doodle doodle doodle. No, I could just zoom in. That'd be easy, wouldn't it? Do. Yeah, I got carried away with the decals. I like doing all these little decals. So what I did was I put like 3 different decals on that one. So you've got the little... I know it's a lion's head with the rose, but if you look at it the wrong way, it looks like a little white spiky hedgehog with the red bit on. Little hedgehog, the KN, and then the blurb on there. The little bit that tells you what Gundam stands for, and then the phase shift armour on that one. I just got carried away and put like 3 decals on one piece, on one skirt part. It was great fun. Right, let me zoom out again. Where's the zoom button? There we go. And the focus will be off now, won't it? I don't know, Fox. You're a right pain in the bum, aren't you, with your focusing and your moving around? And I don't know. This desk's a mess already, and I've only done 4 decals. Let me use that as my focus tool. Doodle-doodle, zoop, zoop. Near enough. Near enough. You're allergic to big online crowds, Fox, says Ratpack30. Huh? I don't know what that means. Down south from y'all in Georgia, says Ryzen. Me too, Atlanta, Georgia. Ray Charles, Georgia, says Dad. Georgia! Statesboro, says Ryzen. Everybody's in America, apart from Dad. The half site is about 30 minutes north of Cartersville. Don't give your address and stuff out. Don't get too specific on the internet. I knew there had to be some MMG fans around here, says Ascension Industries. Oh, my fans are everywhere. Rocking the night away in Tokyo, says William. Cool. Well, you've got the best location then, clearly. Tokyo, you say. These bits are for... I've got some to do on the door parts, but I'm never sure which the door parts actually are, because I've not built the cockpit, well, hatch parts. I've not actually built the hatch yet. That's the bottom part of the hatch. Is that one there? Where is it? Is that one, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the decal on it anyway, and if it's the wrong part, then it'll just be in a funky place, and that's fine. That's fine. So that needs a decal 11 and a decal 24. Cool. 2 decals on one part, yes. So decal 11, decal 24. You say that. Oh, you say you become sniffly every time you turn on the camera, so you've got to be allergic towards people behind your screen. Yeah, it could be. Are you all filthy, dirty urchins, full of disease and horribleness, or is it just me? Right, so I need 20. What did I say? 24 and 11. 24 and also 11. Where is the knife? Das knife ist hier. Das ist richtig. 24 and 11. Don't do like last time, Fox, and put the decals in a pile of water on the desk. That will be a bad thing. So 24. It's hard to see when it's white text on a white sheet. 12, 13, 14, 22, 23, 24. There we go. Tiny, tiny decals. They are as big as rice. If you didn't join us from the beginning, hello and welcome. We're not doing a wheel of giveaways because this isn't the usual Sunday live stream. So we're not doing a wheel of giveaways on this one. Might do some stickers in a bit maybe. I'm probably going to be going for another hour or two. I've got to go off and make dinner at some point, so... I was hoping to have started a lot earlier, but because of some YouTube issues, as in that I couldn't get the live chat going because they've changed everything. Normally I have the live chat in a little pop-out window. I can pop the chat out on my iPad and just have it there in a browser tab quite happily, but now it seems you can't do that. I just have to have the entire YouTube window open. Where did that go? The entire YouTube window open and have the chat on it. And for some reason, if you browse YouTube in Chrome on an iPad, it defaults to the mobile view. It doesn't give you the option of permanently changing it to the desktop view. All of us from Georgia are watching from our kayaks because it won't stop raining. Oh no, 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 no. Scale Model Muse says, morning Foxy, hey Muse. Welcome, welcome. Right, so I need to do that one and that one. These are tiny molecules, these decals, so this is all going to go horribly wrong. There's potential for them to ping and fly off everywhere. Which I'm sure you'll find amusing, but will kind of suck for me. Now, if you've not done decals before, or if you're just starting out and you're trying to learn how to do decals, don't do what I do. You'll notice that I use my tweezers to move them around on the surface of the model. Thusly, I've been doing this for like 30, 40 years, so I kind of have the hang of it. I can kind of move them around without making a mess of either the decal or scraping my paint to hell. However, you may find it easier to use a brush to move them around. I just sniffle my nose again. If you're just starting out, you may find it easier with a brush. Instead of moving it around with these tweezers, which I adore because they're bendy, you can move it with a brush or a cotton bud. Although most of you Americans, so we'll say Q-tip. Yes. Right, how are they doing? Are they moving around yet? Do 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 do. Not yet. What's chat doing? Do 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 do. Oh boo-hoo rain, I'd rather have rain than the icky white stuff falling from the sky, says Nim Cinderin. Oh, you've got snow. Cool, I love snow. I've said this before on a live stream, but the thing about snow is, and you learn this in my situation, but when you work for a living, you know, you go to a job of work, a place of employment, or, you know, you run your own business in a store, or something, whatever you do, if you have to go somewhere, snow is, in fact, the worst thing in the goddamn world. It is just the worst goddamn thing in the world. Because it's a pain in the ass. Because, you know, you need to get to work and there's 35 feet of snow and your boss isn't going to put up with the fact that you couldn't get the bus because the bus didn't turn up or your car wouldn't go in the snow. Good luck trying to get a taxi. Boss gives you crap when you get to work because you didn't, you know, you work... Oh, decal fell apart. Oh, butt cheeks. I'm going to replace that decal, not a problem. Where's my Q-tips? Okay, these DL decals, they're a little bit delicate, it seems. Let's get the other one done. Yeah, so, you know, your boss gives you crap because you were late. There's nothing you can do about it. They expect you to walk 100 miles just to get to work. Yeah, it just sucks. However, if you're self-employed and work from home, like me, snow's the best thing ever. Because it really is kind of a return to childhood. Because when you're a kid and it snows, you're like, yay, brilliant, snow's brilliant, and I might even get a day off school, and yay, I'm using a brush now because that other one fell apart, so. And it's like absolutely fantastic. But then, of course, as soon as you go to a job of work, you're like, no, I don't want snow because then I can't get in the car and I can't get the bus to work. And but then, if you then end up working for yourself and working from home, you can revert back to childhood, because I don't need to go anywhere. If it snows, woohoo, brilliant, I can just go and play in the snow for 10 minutes. Or the only inconvenience is I have to freeze my butt off to go to the shop. Well, not freeze my butt off, but I have to, you know, trawl through the snow to get to the shops to go and do shopping. But other than that, yeah, so I can't complain about snow, because it's brilliant. Is that lined up? Is that lined up? I think it might be. I'm quite a stickler. I'm quite anal when it comes to little decals like this, because I need to get them straight and in the right place and everything. I get grumpy if they're not lined up. Right, we'll try decal 11 again, shall we? Let's try that again. Once again, with feeling. Yes, so we're not doing any Wheel of Giveaways this week, today. If you're not familiar with my videos, on a Sunday I do a Warhammer video, a live stream, just like this, but we're doing Warhammer stuff. And I do giveaways every other week. I do a giveaway kit. And if you don't watch them normally, on last Sunday, the kit that was chosen, the Wheel of Giveaways, was a Macross Valkyrie egg plane, which I'll be pulling the winners next week. So do feel free to enter for that. But we'll give away some stickers, and we are doing the stream boss. Wow, get my words out. Stream boss battle, which is up here. Aviad Madar. Viewer Aviad is the current stream boss. Basically, every time you do a super chat, which is the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window, if you do that, it puts your comment in a big coloured box and gives me an audible signal, so I know you've made a comment. If you do a super chat, or if you do a tip through the tip jar, streamlabs.com/modelmakingguru, every time you do one of those, it takes a bit of that health bar away from Aviad. The bigger the tip, or the bigger the super chat, the more health comes off, and whoever gets him to 0 will win 200 to 300 quid's worth, or more, depending on how much the budget is, 200 to 300 quid's worth of Warhammer kits and products, of, you know, Games Workshop model kits and things like that. So do join in. The more you put through, the bigger the health removal. And yeah, 200 or 300 quid worth of stuff. The reason I say it might be that much is because all the money you put through on the tips and the super chat, 95% of that goes towards the budget for buying the prize and the shipping. So I take a little bit for myself because I've got to live off it, but 95% of it goes towards that. So it depends how much you put through, and I vary it. I vary how much health comes off Fatty Dollar randomly, because I don't do any maths. I'm allergic to maths. So yeah, get putting your tips and things through. There we go. That's now movable. Let's be delicate with this one. And don't forget, of course, if you'd like to support this channel and help keep this channel going, because this is my livelihood. This is what I do for a living. You're more than welcome to become a Patreon supporter. Patreon.com/get off the backing paper. Patreon.com/. This is being a pain in the bum. Right, start again. Don't you rip as well, you little gimp. Patreon.com/modelmakingguru. It's at the bottom of the screen there. That's my Patreon page, where you can help support this channel each month. As little or as much as you like. Anything, you can go from $1 onwards. As little or as much as you think it's worth. Basically, it just helps me pay my bills and you know, eat each month. That's the wrong brush. What I'm doing. It just frees me up 24/7, all day, every day, so I can do this all day, every day, and bring you cool content, which is what I do this for. Right, that's those two on. Little bit of the microsol now, I think. Give it a little blow. There we go. Ian says, go big sense. Scale model muse. My Warhammer shop is doing Secret Santa. I have a big book to look at to see what I want on my list. She says, Ian says, go big sense. He gives away $300 to $400 US of stuff. I hope he gets my name just saying, says Muse. Oh yeah, yes. If your local shop does Secret Santa and they're giving away $300 or $400 worth of stuff, woohoo! Bonus. So that's in the wrong place completely. Everything's in the wrong place. It's a little bit of micro sol. Again, these are tiny decals and they're going on a flat surface, so I didn't really need to go in with any micro set to start with. Water will be fine. I just need a little bit of micro sol once they're dry on the surface there, just to suck underneath, soften them a little bit, and help them just bed down. I mean, they're on a glossy surface anyway, but even that's still not flat. Just helps them bed down and helps that little clear bit of clear film disappear. The clear film on these is actually really nice. Like I said, these are the DL decal sheets, which I had some, but I had loads of them missing. DL decals, I just got them off Amazon or eBay or somewhere. I can't remember where I got them from now. Not super expensive. Took a couple of weeks to get here from China, but you know what? They seem pretty good. They're not as good as Bandai decals. I don't think many are. Bandai are about as close as you get to cartograph without being cartograph. More coffee. Aww. But they're alright. So I shall put those to one side. That can sit there. I'll put my arms back over there because they're drying nicely. If you've never done water slides before, it's not anything to be afraid of. It's dead easy. I'm whittling through them while I'm wittering away and waffling to myself. Dave Barker says, Tommy said hi Fox, he's just come in for snacks. Hi Tommy. Hey matey. Tell me what snacks you're having, Tommy. I'm thinking about food now. I like the idea of food. Snacks, food, snackage, snack and cakeage. Everyone gets something, so it's fun and a big party. Also have to decide what to make. It's a potluck too, says Muse. I wish our local Games Workshop had a Secret Santa. That'd be awesome. I don't think it does. I mean, anytime you give me free Warhammer stuff, I'm going to be happy as a pig in the proverbial. Ooh, I've got an itch in my eye, inside my eye. How does that even work? Got an itch on my eyeball. That's not natural. Right, so that's those two done. So I can mark those off. That's that one. And that is that one. Trust me, if you're doing decals and the kit's got a lot of decals, mark them off as you go along. It will save your sanity. Trust me on this. It is a thing to trust me on. What was that, the fellow? That was that. I've done those. Apparently a helicopter in my back garden, it sounds like at the moment. That is quite loud actually. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like it's like in my house. Blimey, Riley. That's loud. I expect to have the big police sunlight thing shining in my garden anytime soon. I've done that one. Got some to do on the head. Ooh yeah, head decals. Done those. Not done one on the back. Not done that one on the back. We'll leave those because they're on metal. Might do those later. Okay, we have some foot type decals to do. 52 and 51. Huh, is that it? Yeah, it's not very many at all, is it? We have some decals to put on the foot, on the leggy parts. Let's not point at that with a pen. Here. However, what I'll probably do is I'll stick to the instructions and put, like, you know, 51 and 52 on these. However, what I will do is once I've finished all the other decals, and I know that I've got no more decals to do, once I've got, you know, all the decals on the Autori backpack and there's nothing else to do, I'll have a look at whatever's left. And then I can always put more decals on if I need to. What's chat doing? I ate a whole pack of bacon jerky, says James Lorimore. I ate 2 packs of beef jerky once, and it had no dire effects apart from I got a big sort of blister around my tooth because of the pressure of eating it. It made my tooth, got a big bubble of nastiness around my tooth. Tommy is having Monster Munch. Oh yeah, what flavour is it? What flavour? There's the question. I woke up late, it's my day off. I'm still on coffee, says Scale Model Muse. Works for me. Vincent from Mr. Loath is in. He says, evening everyone. Welcome, Vincent. Earl D. Stopping getting Conquest after 11 arrives at shocking service. I've not had a problem with it. I'm really honest. I subscribed online. About 2 weeks later, I got issues 4, 5, 6, and 7. A couple of weeks after that, I've got the next lot, issue 7, 8, 9. What did I get? No, I got issues 4, 5, and 4, 5, and 6, or 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got the first few issues anyway because I didn't order from the first issue. A few weeks later, I got the next pack, which I guess is 7, 8, 9, and 10, but I've not opened it yet. So I've only had 2 deliveries, but I've not had any problems so far. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm subscribed. I'm not depending on shops to, you know, get them in for me. So Scale Model Muse, I've seen a lot of people complain about Conquest. What makes me mad is I can't get it unless I have someone over there to get it for me. Hachette are apparently terrible at customer service, worse than D'Agostini. However, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a bad experience. You know, I have my D'Agostini Falcon, and if you do a D'Agostini part work, it's quite funny. You get exactly the same feedback on D'Agostini. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're terrible. They'll never get back to you. You'll never hear from them. The customer service is terrible." Blah blah blah. So it's exactly the same for D'Agostini. But with that one, I subscribed to it, and 2 years later, I had all the issues for the big Millennium Falcon. No problems at all, none whatsoever. So they're not great at customer service. I can't find my knife. Their customer service can be abysmal, apparently, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have an abysmal experience. I would say 52 and 51. So 52 and 51 are, I can't even see, is that 52? And that's 51. Okay, that's a bit weird. I don't think they meant 50. This doesn't quite match. Let's have a look on the real stickers, see what 52 and 51 are. Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, the numbering on these water slide decals does vary a bit. They've got 51 as those, when it's actually 51 is that, 52 is that. Okay, that makes sense. Right, so we've got 2 lots of these. These are chiral. We've got one that faces left and one that faces right. I would like to thank Will Smith and Norm over at tested.com many years ago for teaching me what the word chiral meant, and that was even a word. I didn't even know that word existed until I listened to Tested, and Will Smith used the word chiral all the time. And I was like, wow, there's actually a word for left-handed or right-handedness. Okay, so that's those 2 sets of decals. All tiny decals today. Yeah, so the fact that people are moaning about customer service, I mean, if you've had bad customer service, then that's a really sad thing. It's not a good thing. But I can't speak from experience. I say I had no problems at all with the D'Agostini guys, and there was just as much bitching on groups and stuff about their customer service. Oh, I can't make this decal up. So it seems to be a universal thing of part work companies is that they're not very good at the customer service bit. So yeah, but I don't have any problems. Do one of these at a time. Dave Barker says beef, good effort. Beef Monster Munch, yeah. Has he got lockjaw yet? Nah, well, you can't close your mouth. Nah. I've seen a lot of people complain about Conquest. What mate? I've done that one already. Buying single issues ordered on the 7th, expect 23rd, says Earl D. If you're just buying single issues, you may as well just go to your local shop and get it from the shop. Or, you know, rather than do it issue by issue through the internet, just do it through your local shop. If you're going to do it through the internet, you may as well just subscribe. And then you get 4 each month. Because they do it's weekly, but if you'd subscribe, they just deliver you 4 in one go each month. Not 1 a week. But I wouldn't order each one by one on the internet. That's not the way their system's designed to do it. Ideally, you go into your local shop and you buy one, or your local newsagent sets up a delivery for you every week. Your local newsagent can set up a subscription for you, and it's just delivered to your newsagent each week, or you just subscribe. The online side is designed for just subscribe online, and it'll ask you where you want to start from, and then they just send you 4 a month, or just go and buy like 1 or 2 issues that you may have lost, or maybe you didn't receive. You need to get like a copy of them because you've lost an issue and you need to go back and get another copy of it. It's not really kind of ideal to just order 1 each time through them. That might be where if your problem's coming from that, because that's when you're contacting them all the time, but so is everybody else. So it's kind of you're kind of subscribing, not the way it's sort of designed to work. If you know what I mean, it's not designed as a, you don't need to order it every week. But if you don't want to subscribe, like I say, you could just pick one up from your local shop, local news agents, or what have you. Is that upside down? That's upside down. Because I personally get bored of ordering them every week. Whoa, it's broken again. Right, these are quite delicate decals. I have noticed this. Which I didn't notice with the other sheet of decals that I've got that are also deal decals. Which is weird. These must be more newer decals than the other ones. They do look slightly different. Some of the colours are a bit different. They seem a little bit delicate. So I shall soak those. And I shall do that with a brush in a moment. So if you're using DL decals, just go carefully. They give you lots of spares, thankfully. Mew says BS that it's only over there. Yeah, it's probably a case of the problem is that if they were to do it abroad, they can't ship things like paints and stuff necessarily to lots of countries. They'd have to spend a fortune, because when you get it every month, you get a plastic. You get like a. I'll show you what you get. Well, you basically get a plastic bag with magazines and stuff in. That's it. No, it survives being posted around the UK, but if they were sending that to like the US or anywhere else, and there's paints and things inside, it'd get trashed. Plus the other thing, of course, is that depending where it's going to, if they're sending paints, and glue, and solvents, there's a lot of things you can't ship into certain countries. They won't allow you to import certain things. Like, you know, here in the UK, for a long time, we couldn't get thin because nobody could import it. So it might just be, A, they didn't know if there was demand, and they'll introduce it later, because they've done that before. They did that with the Millennium Falcon, the D'Agostini guys. It was UK only for a while, because they didn't know what the demand would be outside the UK. Because don't forget, companies like D'Agostini and Hachette, they're kind of UK based. I think Hachette are UK or France based. I know D'Agostini are based in the UK, and they're not massive companies, so they might be just waiting to see, is it worth it, can we do it? And if we can, after a while, they may then release it outside the UK and Republic of Ireland. Because it's probably a big sort of, you know, logistical nightmare to set these kind of things up. I don't know how they do it. So it doesn't mean it's never going to come to the US or anywhere else. It might do. If it's successful enough. I think it was more successful than they hoped, or than they thought, because they do seem to have got quite battered with it. So from what I've read, it does seem that it was more successful than they anticipated, which has caused some problems with, you know, get off. That's why I don't like using a brush, because a brush is a bit of a lame way to move your decal around. Right, that needs to... Ooh. Also, those tweezers are a bit rubbish. Ah! This is going to be challenging me now, isn't it? Yes, it's going to be a pain in the bum. What I'm talking about? I don't know. I've no idea. I think that decal's actually back to front. Brilliant. Brilliant, Fox. Well done. Now I've got to try and pick it up. Ugh. I'm going home. I quit. Now normally, if this is a Bandai decal, I could literally just pick it up. I'm going to try and do that here, but I don't know if that would... Yes. Yes! Fox, you're a master. You're a master at this. Truly, you are a master at the art of shucking decals around. I don't know what I was talking about now. What was I talking about? I've got no idea. Yeah, I say it's not. I don't think it ever will. I think it's been quite popular. That's kind of flawed them a little bit. It's either going to be a case of they just need to make sure it will be popular enough to do it in the US. Because although we like to think that Warhammer is this big, massive juggernaut, media juggernaut, it's actually not. It's actually not that big a thing. And it's got popularity in the US, but maybe it's more popular over here and in Europe, in the UK, than it is over there. I don't know. We shall see. but I'm sure it will. I mean, let's not forget. Two things. First of all, it's nothing to do with Games Workshop. Technically, it's a Hachette thing. Games Workshop just allowed them to use their product. From what I've read, Games Workshop aren't involved with it at all, other than saying yes, you can use our product. And I can't remember what the other point. Yes, let's not forget, of course, in the US, you've got a Warhammer cafe. We've not got a Warhammer cafe. You've got a Warhammer cafe, which I have to say, someone suggested they call it Dunkin' Donuts, and they totally didn't. They went for the Citadel instead, which is a boring name. Dunkin' Donuts would have been a fantastic name. What's chat doing? Oh, we'll get the next lot of decals. I need to cut more out now, don't I? They can afford it. It says Muse. The insurance is super high for paints, and they box it. It's fine. It's not so much that. It's that in some countries they wouldn't be allowed to send things like paints. There are some countries where you wouldn't be able to send it. I know when we used to, in my last job, when we used to mail stuff to, for example, the US, you had to jump through so many hoops to get stuff through US customs. In the end, we were just like, you know what? It's not even worth it, because screw it. But like I said, it's also things like, you know, packaging. They'd have to pack it in such a way that paints just don't get destroyed on the way. And that's where things get expensive then. Because if you've got, like, you know, 10,000 people and you've got to send out 10,000 boxes, put them in boxes, like, that's great if you've got one person, but if you've got, like, 5,000 people ordering and you've got to put them all in boxes, you've got to spend time in fulfillment getting them everything boxed up, and right now they just bang it in a plastic bag. Kind of fast. They're not, like I said, they're not massive companies, that's the thing. They make millions, they can afford it, she says. It's not Games Workshop. Hachette is nothing to do with Games Workshop. Hachette is just it's a part work company. They've probably just paid Games Workshop to license their products. In that, it's from what I've read, Games Workshop have basically said, yes, you can do that with our products, but we want oversight on it. But it's just, so that's why if it's any kind of customer service for it, Games Workshop are like, don't speak to us, speak to Hachette. It's their thing, apparently. Donuts are delicious, says James Lorimore. They can't do that, it's a real food biz. I know Dunkin' Donuts is real, but Duncan, as in Duncan Rhodes, the guy from Warhammer TV, it'd still be funny. I know it was a shame. I know they can't, but it would have been awesome. Buyers pay shipping, so that's easy. Yeah, but then you're asking for more. Because don't forget, with these subscriptions, I don't pay shipping. I'm not paying postage on these subscription packages. That's the thing. I'm not paying any postage for it. It just turns up. I've got a subscription, monthly subscription. It just arrives. So it might be that they'd have to have a higher subscription. I don't know. There's probably a lot of different reasons. Most likely, I reckon it's just they want to start small. Because if you've got that kind of business where their business is a logistical-based business, people subscribing and them shipping things left, right and centre, depending on how big they are, it may just be a case that they're just waiting for the moment. Because they'll have a lot of different things that they do. Don't forget, Hachette. It's not just the Games Workshop stuff they do. They'll do lots of other things as well. Like just go and look on the shelf at your local store. Right now, I've noticed things like I don't know if it's Hachette, but there's on my local store they've got a thing to build a battleship. It looks like the Bismarck or something, or the Graf Spee. It's huge. So there's on my local store shelf. There's like a magazine with a piece of the deck of the Graf Spee on it. There's a National Geographic thing where you can collect rocks. I don't understand that at all. I'm going to pay so they can send me some rocks. Yeah, I don't get that one. There's loads, but Hachette will have loads of other stuff. I know Hachette did a 1/48 scale U-boat at one point. Or was it 1/35 scale? It was huge. So they'll only have so many people to do what they need to do, to do it, design it, create it, but more importantly, pack it all up, post it, get it distributed. I think it's more just a case of they didn't expect it to be quite that popular. And the fulfillment's probably a lot of work, and they're probably just making sure they can get everything up and running. I suspect they will release it elsewhere. It just will take them time. They're not like a big... Hachette aren't a big multi-million-pound international company. I mean, it may well be it's just UK. It's entirely possible it might just end up being UK only. And there probably will be... I mean, at the end of the day, let's not mince words, Bones. Any company, if you say to me, I want to sell my product, I want to sell it in as many territories as possible. I want to make as many people as possible buy it. So if there's a reason that they're not selling in another... If there's a reason that they're ignoring or they're avoiding getting the income from people buying it in other countries outside the UK and the Republic of Ireland, there's a reason. They won't just be doing it because they don't want to. There'll be a good reason that's stopping them doing it right now. At the end of the day, they're a business. They need to sell as many copies as they can. So I'm sure there'll be a reason. Let's have a look. I'm home. Oh no. I'm tiny, says James Larimore. Update on my World War II diorama. Scale model music. They didn't expect this from country. They have a lot to learn about its people. At least us plastic and gamer nuts. I'm not an apologist for Hachette. I don't know. Hachette usually do things like battleships and wooden models of boats and stuff like that. So, and you know, trains and things. So it'll be certainly be a new avenue for them. The brush is going a bit lumpy. But no business knows to start with, because the thing about part work is a lot of people are interested in Warhammer, but a lot of Warhammer builders interested in doing a part work for 2 years. That's the thing, you see. That is the thing. And it's just like D'Agostini. Don't forget, D'Agostini the same. You know, they did the big studio scale Millennium Falcon that came out in the UK first. I think it did come out in the US in the end, but I think it took a while. They did. They're doing the X-wing now, and they did this for the Falcon. They did a thing where they released the first couple of issues as a test to see what demand is, and then just stop. And then it was like a year later when they said, right, now we've got the whole release. We're actually going forward and doing it. So there's a lot, when you do the part work, there's a lot of testing and uncertainty, because think about it, if you're doing a part work and you've got like 80 or 90 issues, you've got to have the product ready. You've got to have 80 and 90 issues worth of stuff made and created, because somebody might, you know, contact you on the first day and say, you know, I need issue 3 again, please, or I need issue 25. They kind of have to have everything built and assembled ready to ship out. So that's a lot of money to spend in advance for something they don't know about. So they'll just be starting small and then growing it. I think they'll do it outside the UK. I think it'll just take them a little while, that's all. I'm holding out for the... hang on. Dave Barker says he's holding out for the Age of Sigmar part work. Fingers crossed they bring it out. Is there a rumour for one? Yeah, Dave likes his Age of Sigmar. I don't know. It'd be cool if they did, I suppose. Do you build up such massive armies in Age of Sigmar? I don't know. I love the thing Wingnut Wings have done with the new Lancaster kit. They have the cockpit for Part 6 filmers to do. Shut up, Dave. Shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. It's Dave taking the mickey out of me, only getting to Part 6 of my big Millennium Falcon. Yes, talking of D'Agostini, yes. But yes, no, I can understand it's frustrating for people outside the UK, but I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll do it. I wouldn't read too much into it. I need my pen. I just put my pen. There it is. Right, so what we've done now, we've done... I need some more... Oh, I need to go back to the legs. Back to the leg. 52 and 51 again. Okay, we can do that. More of what we've just done. Hooray. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. 52 and 51. Each of those two again. Oh, ping. Where did that go? Oh, hello. That entire little... Oh, there it is. It's on my keyboard. Come here. Have you ever had that thing where you cut a decal off a sheet and it's there, and then you breathe or you blink or something, and the next thing you know it's just gone and you can't find it anywhere, and you just, oh, I hate when that happens. Jamie Bowen says Fox's Transformer build. Whoop. Not a Transformer. Transformers are for children. Gumpler is for mature people. Transformers are toys, and Gumpler is adult Transformers. And it's not really at all, is it? I know what I mean to say, I'm just not saying it. What's chat doing? Yes, it is, it says Muse. Yeah, it's frustrating. But then again, think of it this way. I can't get Slim Jims over here. So that's even worse. Because that's food. I can't get Runzers. I really want a Runzer, and I've never had a Runzer. I'd have to get on a plane and travel to Boston, I think. Somewhere. I can't get poutine. It's an injustice. It's an injustice. Oh. But yeah, you've got the world's first Warhammer cafe, so shut up. Mind you, we've got Warhammer World, so yeah, shut up, me. Have you seen those Transformer models they have come out with? No. No interest in Transformers. At all. Do nothing for me whatsoever. Transformers were always for adults. No. Transformers is magical nonsense. Gumpler is child soldiers and darkness and space and death. There's always death and horror and child soldiers and in Gumpler. Whereas Transformers is just magical space nonsense. It's just, I don't know. Gumpler is a much more adult theme, I think. We don't talk about the Michael Bay Transformers because they're just ass. We don't talk about that. That's rubbish. Even I know that the original Transformers cartoons and stuff is just proper Transformers. I hate Transformers, but I know that the modern stuff is just ass. Wait, you can't get Slim Jim, says Rise. No, not that I've been able to find. Poutini's easy to make, Foxy. No, but I know, but it needs to be made by a Canadian in Canada. I need to be in Canada. It's hard to explain. If I try and make it, it's not poutine. It's just me making some chips and cheese and shit. It's not the same. Over the summer, I brought a Transformer, said James Lorimore. Oh well. Oh well, never mind. You have some good fun with it. Nothing wrong with them. I just don't do Transformers. Doesn't mean they're bad. Just means I don't do Transformers. Are these moving yet? Come on, decals. Michael Bay didn't do it justice. Michael Bay's Transformer films were just ass. I did watch them. I did watch one of them. I watched the first one, I think, and I was sat there and I was like, the f am I watching now? What is this sugar? Try not to swear, you see, because you're advertiser friendly and all that. What is this absolute balls that I'm watching? I can't avoid it now. I can't not use rude words, but I was like, what is this gash I'm watching now? Seriously, did somebody pay for this? Somebody greenlit this? What absolute of tosh. It's terrible stuff. Now these are a bit floaty, these ones, so I'm going to tamp them down a little bit to get the excess water off, but not so much that they stick to the surface. And I'll get the other one on. Am I doing this even on... No, I'm not even doing it on camera, you spoon. And then I'll get the other one on that side. And it's upside down again, you absolute gimpatron. Oh, these decals are fighting me all the damn way, aren't they? They're just going to give me grief non-stop. I see the grief you're giving me. Gimptaculon. Do not rip. Do not rip. Also, do not just disappear into the brush. Tweezers even. Ugh. There we go. Good girl. See what happens when you cooperate and aren't just a complete gimpatron. Everybody's happy. Life is good. There we go. See? Thank you, Decal. Oh, and it rips. Fantastic. Wow, these are really delicate decals. I may have to adjust my judgment of these DL decals. It's like the slightest touch with anything, and they're just falling apart. That's not particularly great. I appreciate they're knockoffs. They're not official. I'm going to have to get rid of that bit, aren't I? They're not official Bandai decals. They're not going to have the quality of official Bandai decals, but holy cow. That's a bit pants. Guess that one's a bit ginked, but never mind. Yeah, holy cow, man. You could give them at least some structural integrity. Doodle-doo-doo. Has anybody played Fallout 76 yet? I have to say, as an absolute rabid Fallout fan, I'm finding myself having no desire at all to go anywhere near Fallout 76. Because the whole playing with other people thing just doesn't appeal to me at all. I mean, it works perfectly in Destiny. You know, the way it does it in Destiny, it's not a problem. Everybody can see you. But the only way you can interact with the people is in either PvP, deliberately in PvP. I'm going to have to replace that decal, aren't I? Either deliberately in PvP or just passively in PvE. They can help you on public events, but they can't do you any harm. They can't attack you or anything like that. There's no potential for griefing in well, not really in PvE. I have to redo that one now. So yes, but I don't know. Fallout 76, just not. If you know, until the game came out, I would have said that the idea of a multiplayer Fallout is brilliant nowadays. But now, you know, looking at what's come out, I'm like, you know what? I think I'd rather just have a normal single player experience. That's the wrong decal. Oh balls! Get back on the paper. These really are fighting me all the damn way, these decals. Yeah, it doesn't interest me at all. I'm doing this all off camera. I do apologise. It's because I'm trying to do all this fiddly stuff. Every single decal is giving me grief. I'm reassessing my opinion of these DL decals. Alright, see if we can pick you up without destroying the paint job. Without you falling apart. Perfect. Perfect. What's talking about? Yeah, so I don't know. Multiplayer Fallout, it just doesn't seem. I'm sure it'll appeal to some people, but I think for Fallout, I want to be able to wander around and just do my own thing. I don't particularly want other people there. I like the idea of co-op in the Fallout universe. You know, like a kind of Borderlands idea where you can go in and play the game, and you can play it on your own if you want, which is what people prefer. But if you want to, you can team up with 2 or 3 others and have a bit of co-op. And when you do that, perhaps the loot drops are a bit better and the enemies are a bit tougher. But just saying the world is now open and everybody can grief you if they want to. No, that doesn't do anything for me. I think that decal's the wrong way around. No, that doesn't do anything for me at all. Has to be said. We'll see. I mean, they have said they're going to potentially do like a solo server and other things later on, and when that happens, then that might be me interested then. Come on, up you come. There we go. It's a bar. Perfect. So yeah, if they do bring out like a solo server, then I probably would pick it up. Because even if it's not got any NPCs, even if it's just exploring and you get some quests from, you know, robots and computers and things, I can still play that. Because I don't mind. It's the exploring and the stuff. I mean, I've played Fallout 3 for over 1,500 hours, and you can guarantee by that point I'm not actually talking to NPCs at that stage ever again. I'm just doing my own thing at that point, wandering around. Is that a scratch or is that a... little tiny hair get out? There we go. Wow, these decals are a right pain. Ugh. Jordan, I hope you appreciate what I'm going through with these decals, mate. They's been a right pain, they's been. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. If they do announce, if they do like they say and do a single player or solo player server, then I'll probably pick a copy up. But there's just, I don't know, just right now I've got no desire at all to play any kind of Fallout where there's other people and it's potential for griefing. Nah. Not interested. Let's have a look and see what chat's doing. Vampy talked me into Destiny 2, says Muse. Destiny 2, right? I love Destiny and Destiny 2. Everybody slagged off Destiny and Destiny 2. They've got their problems, but I've got to tell you, if there's one thing Bungie can do, it's gunplay. You know, I was playing it yesterday. It's just incredibly good fun to play. It's not the best game in the world, not by any long shot, but to just go in with your mates, do some strikes. Finally, they made strikes, so you can go in and select them, or just go in by yourself and just go through, once you've done all the story stuff, just go through like the weekly challenge or the weekly reset challenges and the bounties and things. It's just kind of fun. It's just a good way to pass a few hours. So I would say, yeah, Destiny and Destiny 2. Even original vanilla Destiny is good fun. I love it. So yeah, if you like buying soundtracks, go and buy the original Destiny soundtrack by Marty O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore, and C. Paul Johnson, I think his surname was. That's awesome. That is the proper Destiny. It's brilliant. There's a few clunker tracks, but most of it is, I've got it on my playlist. It's brilliant. Don't buy the Destiny 2 soundtrack. It's crap. The moment Marty left, all the music for Destiny became crap. You can tell that way if you listen to any of the music for the Rise of Iron expansions or the Taken King. They're just ass. They're just like wallpaper music. It's sorely missed Marty O'Donnell. So there you go. Yeah, Destiny. Oh yeah. Are you on Xbox, Vamp? Muse, are you and Vamp on Xbox or PC or PlayStation? Because if you're on Xbox, you should let me and Chris and Paul know, because we're all on Xbox. He did one thing right. He got the correct voice for Optimus Prime. True, says Ratpack30. That's true. You got the right guy for that. J Day says, thanks for my daily dose of Britain. There you go. Steak and kidney pudding, bangers and mash, Yorkshire pudding, whippets, flat caps, no tripe. Yeah. Vampy talked me into... I've done that one. I'm going to pass on Fortnite 76, says J Day. He says, nah, I'm going to pass on it. Yeah, like I say, if they do bring out a solo play mode, then I'll be tempted. Because it might be... Don't forget, it's going to be another 3 or 4 years before we even get... A couple of years before... 2 or 3 years before we even get Starfield. And it's going to be another 4 years after that or more before we even get Elder Scrolls 6. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to add to it over time. In the same way they did with Elder Scrolls Online, which was terrible when it started, but now it's actually not so bad. I think they'll add to it. And it might be eventually they start adding in, for solo players at least, some more story stuff, maybe some NPCs. They might do. I mean, you might not. But I can imagine they will. Because it's the only Fallout you're going to get for the next 10 years. Let's be honest now, I think. Unless they get a third-party company to make another Fallout game. The next game is Starfield. That's another 4 years. The next game after that is Elder Scrolls 6. That'll be another 4 years. Then it'll be another 3 or 4 years before you get a Fallout. So, I'm not going to say no, but I need to have a single-player mode. Vincent says, the concept is nice having an open world with other people to play with or just roaming around solo, but the lack of NPC and the fact that they are using an old, outdated graphics engine puts me off. Yeah. I have a Springer toy on myself as well. Love him in the 84 movie, says William Wilms. Oh, okay, that's Transformers again. DL decals are the best, says Juan Ferreira. That's what everybody tells me, and I've got some that they were really nice, but this particular sheet, they're as delicate as like a lace wing. Go anywhere near them with anything more than a delicate breath of a unicorn and they seem to fall apart, which is kind of annoying. Because this sheet, I've got another sheet of DL decals here. Oh, these ones, these are fine. These have been no problem at all. It's the same decals. So I don't know. I enjoyed the setup of the... Oh, it's moved. Enjoyed the setup of the Division, says William Wilms. When it came to playing with other people, the Dark Zone allowed for other players to mess with you. Yeah, that's a good idea. And it's kind of what they did in a way. It's what they did with Destiny. It's open. It's a sort of open world, and you'll see other people, but they can't do anything to you unless, like in Destiny, you go into PvP. Or, in Division, you go into a specific area where it's PvP, and other than that, it's PvE. There's a million ways you could do it, but just making the whole world PvE, but also PvP. I understand it from a story point of view in Fallout 76. I understand that they're trying to say, you know, these are the first people going out to colonise the world, are coming out, and there's going to be fighting each other to survive. And it's like, okay, that makes sense story-wise and lore-wise, gameplay-wise. It's not necessarily most fun if you just walk out and everybody griefs you non-stop. So they said they put things, there are things in there to prevent griefing, but whether that actually works, I don't know. I mean, I've not played it, so I don't know. These are only my impressions of what I see and hear. Vincent says, no or very little NPCs to interact with can force you to interact with others even if you want to explore solo, and no safe zones when it comes to PvP is a bad idea. Muse says, I have to go to my hobby shop today or got a call, my paints are in. Woohoo! Cool. Vincent says, if they implement a PvE server where you can turn on PvP if you want to be a taggable in like lots of MMOs, it might tempt me. Yeah, I mean, if you default it to it's co-op PvP unless you... sorry, it's co-op PvE/PvP unless you specifically go somewhere there it's PvE. Wow, this is getting confusing. If they make it by default, co-op PvP, that's default. You go in the world, there's other people there, they can't harm you, but they can help you out, or you can ignore them. But if you go to Zone A, B, or C, or you know, or go into a particular place, then it's PvP, and you can do whatever you want to each other. That would work. But you've got to think of the lore. I suppose they've got to fit it with the lore, haven't they? Faisal Shastari says Taken King is my favourite. I don't think I finished the Taken King. Did I finish it? No, I didn't finish it because I hate the Hive. Oh, they do my head in. And the Taken weren't too bad, but there was I never even got to the Dreadnought. I don't think I did some stuff on the Dreadnought, and then there was something I couldn't get past, and I just gave up. So yeah, I did the Rise of Iron. That was quite good. And I love the fact it says that, you know, what's his face? If you go to the tower in Destiny 2, it says he's the last of the Iron Lords. I'm thinking, hang on, aren't I an Iron Lord as well? I'm the young wolf. Am I not an Iron Lord now? Even though I'm not an Iron Lord, I am one, but I'm not. Because his sister, you are an Iron Lord now, and it's like, hang on, you got your own lore wrong. What's his name? Not Shax. It's the other guy. What's his? Who's the guy that I can't remember? The one that does the Iron Banner. Yeah, so I never finished the Taken King. I did the other expansions. Destiny 2, I've done Warmind. I've done the first one that was a bit tedious, whatever that was. The nonsense with Osiris that was not very interesting. Warmind was a bit uninteresting. It was a good idea. I love the sound of Rasputin when he speaks. I love the sound of his voice. It's fantastic. But hey, there you go. I just love, if you listen to it, just the crispiness of it, and the not the fact it's in Russian, but that helps. But just the sonic qualities of his voice is really nice. I like it. But yeah, the DLC was a bit pants. I've started the Forsaken. I've got to the bit with the Reef. I've met Spider, and I've just got the events on the map to then go and find all the Barons. And I've just taken out the first Baron. So that's as far as I've got with the Forsaken DLC yet. So no spoilers, please. But I'm taking my time. I'll just go and wander around and do farming. I'm just farming. I think I'm level 50 and I'm about 512 power, I think, at the minute. But I've got my go-to weapons. I've got my Tone Patrol. Tone Patrol is a fantastic... I'm not going to swap that Scout Rifle for anything. Tone Patrol all the way. Tone Patrol up to about 517 at the minute damage, or power. I love my Tone Patrol. It is the best Scout Rifle ever. And I did have just a random auto rifle that I had as my second weapon, which I'd masterworked it so it gave me orbs every time. I'm not doing any work here, am I? Masterworked it so it gave me orbs every time you got a couple of kills. But then I got a legendary drop. I got an exotic drop. It gave me a Suros regime. I'd never had a Suros regime in the original Destiny because it was a raid reward and I never got it. So, because I didn't do raids. So I've got a Suros regime and it's like, oh. So I equipped that, but it's an exotic. So what I had to do was I had a Wardcliffe coil as my rocket launcher and I loved it, but it's also an exotic and I can't have two exotics. So I'm like, oh. So I've had to swap to a grenade launcher, which I'm getting used to and I'm actually quite liking now. Play of the game, or game, what is it? The play of the game, I think it's called. Something like that. Grenade launcher. And then That my Suros regime, which I've got set to do as it gets towards the second half of the clip, it goes really, really fast. So it's like digga, 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 like that. It's quite nice. But the only problem is I can't masterwork it, so I can't put any like orb generation on it, which is really a shame, really. But it sounds great. Got my Suros regime, got my Tone Patrol. I just love my Tone. I love my Tone Patrol. I've got an other grenade launcher. And then I've only got one piece of armour that I actually care about right now, and that's an exotic chest plate, purely because it's got some perks that I like. But I like the fact they've changed it now, so I can get the orange things that you need to do the upgrades to weapons. What do they call the enhancement bit? I can't remember what they're called. They've changed the name 4 times already. They were Masterwork cores, and now they're called something else. At least they're a lot easier to get now. A bit grindy, but hey, it's technically an MMO. So yeah, Tone Patrol. Tone Patrol all the way. Don't talk to me about any other Scout Rifle. I don't care. Tone Patrol. It's got Dragonfly. I love it. It sounds great. Done. Pop. Explode. Crowd of people. Take one out. They all explode. Tone Patrol. I won't hear anything bad said about it. Ghostwire. Speeder bike wise, whatever they're called, I don't care. As long as it goes 160, I don't care. I've got some junky looking orc thing. It looks like orcs made it at the minute. And then ship wise, I've got this little thing. It's like a little... Can I draw it somewhere? I've got a piece of paper. I've got this little ship, right? Because I love the ships in Destiny, but the ships in Destiny 2 are all just gash. They all look terrible. Apart from... That's a gun, by the way. Before you start thinking it's a root, it's a gun. Apart from the ship I've got, which is like... It kind of looks like... It's like that. With a little window here. Little cockpit window. And it's got 2 little wings at the side here. The engine's at the back, obviously. And it's just like... It's about 4 foot long. It's like if there's a person in it, the person would be sat there like... The person would be like this big. And it's just got these little tiny stubby wings there. And it's got 2 little wings on the bottom. And it's got a stripe down the side. And it's just totally, totally adorable. I call it my little tiny space potato. It's kind of the size of a rice, basically. And I think it's the best ship ever made. I got it quite early on as a reward for something, but you know what? I'm keeping it now because it's just the most adorable ship in the world, and I call it my space potato. And it's like, you get all these other ships that are like massive. No, I want my little space potato. It's quite adorable. So that's my ship at the moment. I'll keep my ship. Don't care about the speeder bike thing. My Sparrow, whatever they're called. But yeah, I do love me some Destiny. I need to get up with, for those of you who don't know, me, Chris, my fellow co-host from the E-Models streams, and Paul from Glued to the Sprue. We're all part of a thing called Team Inept. Excuse me one second. Ooh, tickly cough. We're all part of a thing called Glued to the... Team Inept. It's a YouTube channel, Team Inept. We do video games and stuff. We've got like, 5 subscribers or something. But I don't get a chance to do much of it very often, but I must get up with those, get together with those 2 guys and do some more strikes. Because Destiny 1 we used to go and do all the strikes. Destiny 2 for a long time, you couldn't choose a strike, it was just like random strike playlist. You'd be like, oh! Now they've set it so you can choose strikes. And we've all got the DLC now, so I think. So we can all go and do all the strikes. I need to do some more strikes with those guys. What's chat doing? Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Talking about Fallout 76. I have a bunch of DL decals, says Ascension Industries. Most are great except for some on one sheet. Yeah, it might just be this one sheet. Like I say, the other ones I've got, they've been no problem. They've been as good as Bandai decals, but these ones have just been really delicate. I mean, as long as I don't... If I stop using my tweezers to move them around, I'll be alright. It's me being ham-fisted. I've been playing MMOs for 20 years, says Ratpack30, and I've grown tired of them, mainly because of toxic community. Playing co-op with people is still fun though. Yeah, I've never had the desire to play an MMO, but I love... Since I found Fallout 3, I fell in love with the idea of having a whole open world to wander around in. I just played first-person shooters. So having a whole open... You know what? I'm not going to do any more decals, am I? Let's get these things off. I'm not going to do any more work, let's just be honest here. It's almost 6 o'clock. Ooh, got moist hands now. Yeah, I've discovered Fallout 3, and that was amazing. I was like, wow, because I've just been playing first-person shooters up to that point. So I was like, this is amazing, and I fell in love with this. This was going back to when it came out, 2008, I think. And from that point on, I've been more interested in either open-world games or something like Borderlands, which is co-op multiplayer, kind of co-op multiplayer games. Again, a little bit open world. Like, you know, Borderlands is sort of open world, sort of. And then Fallout 4 came out, and then there were some other games as well, and it was just, I loved it. And then it seems to be the thing now, is big open worlds are becoming more and more the thing, the meta. You have to have a big open world, and I like that. I like that a lot, because it's what I fell in love with Fallout 3. And, you know, New Vegas and Skyrim. Skyrim was just the dogs. It was fantastic. I'd never played anything like Skyrim. And that's what I dig now. So the idea of Fallout 76, this big open world, is fantastic, but forced PvP? Nah. I used to play Halo LAN with my friends a lot in the early days of Xbox. Go on to a big group of us playing several Xboxes, all with Ethernet cables lined up, you know, to play Halo. Then Xbox Live came out, and I lost the desire to do that, because you realise that 99% of the people you played online on Xbox Live were just complete jerkwads and asshats. And that desire to do that, I realised that multiplayer like that was no interest to me at all, because I don't care about the other people. They're not interesting to me at all. So, but co-op stuff, I don't mind. The Destiny stuff makes it work nicely. You can ignore the other people; it doesn't matter. They might kill the guy you're shooting; doesn't really matter. They wander around in the environment, but there's not a lot of interaction you can do, and it's all optional if you don't want to. For the moment, I'm testing out Fallout New Vegas. Hang on, Rat Pack. For the moment, I'm testing out Fallout New Vegas, and while I do love Fallout, I'm almost at a loss here. So damn hard, it seems overly hard. Fallout New Vegas bored me. Because the landscape was kind of empty compared to Fallout 3. There were certain things I liked about it. It was a lot more... I didn't find it hard. You want to get yourself the rat slayer or rat catcher. Or it's like a sniper rifle with a silencer and a night vision scope, and it's just got massive damage. It's called the rat slayer or the rat catcher, and you find it just in some hills out from where you start, but you have to go and look it up. But yeah, after I fell in love with the DC ruins in Fallout 3, which I'd never come across anything like. I mean, it's dated now, you look back on it, but then it was like, wow, this is amazing. I got like 800 hours in, and I was still finding places. I did like the first few bits of the main story, and then just spent hundreds of hours wandering in the wasteland and finding things. And it was never ending. I was like, wow, I went through 3 Xboxes while I was playing that game. It was wow. And then New Vegas came along, and it was like, still awesome, but there's not a lot to do. You go into the desert, and there's a giant ant, and then I can walk for a lot, and then there'll be a shack. And it'd be like, really? Because, like, you know, Fallout 3, I was falling over the things all the time, and everything had stories. And Fallout 4 kind of carries that Fallout 3 vibe a bit, but there's not as much environmental storytelling. I used to love walking into an office building. I could spend an entire evening, like 9 or 10 hours, in just one building in Fallout 3, looking at all the monitors and learning the story of the people that are in there from the environment. You don't really get that in Fallout 4. But then, of course, I got the Garand M1 and the Kar 98 and the Mosent Nagant mods, rifle mods for Fallout 4, and I loved it. The Garand M1, best weapon in the world, especially in Fallout 4. James Ramos says, in Destiny, I run around punching anything evil. You're a Titan, then I'm a hunter. I like to do things. Scout rifle, auto rifle, that's me happy, thank you very much. And get my throwy blades for my superpowers. Yeah. William Wilm says, you have taught me into getting back into playing Destiny 2. You should. Although the only thing I don't like about Destiny is the way they package the stuff. You know, you've got the vanilla game, then you've got the DLCs, then you've got the expansion pack that you can buy to get up to Forsaken, which is, you know, full price game, and now you've got the annual pass to take up to next summer, which includes the game, or it knocks the price down if you've already got Forsaken. It's like, yeah, I think when you join with Activision, it was a really bad move, because you're just monetizing everything now. You're charging for all the DLC, and I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Elite Dangerous, where you buy the game and all the DLC's been free. It's been going for what, 4 years? All the DLC's been, well, I say not all of it. There's been an expansion pack. You know, you've got the one pack that brought in the landing on planets and stuff. You can buy those as DLCs, but that's just discrete DLCs. They've not got like the DLC you buy and then you get all the other stuff that comes in. That's nah. Although I did get the annual pass for Destiny just because I'm an idiot, but there you go. And I know it's an MMO, but I think the lack of any kind of stable structure, because every time they bring something in, it's rubbish and they have to fix it, and then they have to go and change everything because they fixed it and it doesn't work anymore. And it seems like they bring something in, everybody hates it, they then decide to change it, but then they have to change something else, and all the currency, in-game currency changes and all the things. So you go from having, you know, a weapon that you upgrade, you infuse it into something else by just spending legendary shards. Now you have a weapon that you masterwork into something else by using masterwork upgrade crystal things and legendary shards, but you also need a local material as well, but you can't really get those and they're really hard. So then they brought in this and then they changed that and then they changed the name. I'm losing track of what materials needed for it. Gets too overwhelming at times, but the gunplay is fantastic. Let's have a look. Vincent says, they're usually better than Bandai decals, to be honest. Bandai uses quite a thick carrier film on theirs. Hated the ones on Yamato, especially around panel lines. It was hard to get them to sink in and conform. Yeah, they do get a bit thick sometimes, the Bandai. Sometimes they're really nice quality. Sometimes they're a bit thick. Lots of layers of the microsol to thin them down. Just ding level 50 on Destiny 2, says Scale Model Vamp. Cool. Oh, I didn't notice you're in there, Vamp. Hey, Vamp. I just realised it's you and Muse. I'm level 50 and I'm about 512. When you get to level 50 and 500, that's when the crawl... Unless you do raids and strikes, well, unless you do raids, that's where the crawl starts. I'm slowly getting a bit better at leveling up. But, you know, don't expect to get all the high power stuff. Basically, all the vendors, they cap out at like 500 maybe. Occasionally, you know, Rahul might give you something at 510. But really now, your source for, you know, leveling up and increasing your power is the powerful weapon drops from people like, what's her name? I didn't say Ivanka then. What's the name? Ikora. Ivanka, for good God. From Ikora, or from, if you do strikes, from, oh God, Zavala. I forgot her name, Zavala. Or you get powerful rewards from the people at each destination, although I think they may cap out at 500. I'm not sure, but you have to do like challenges and stuff like that, so it's a bit of a pain, but it's there. It's all the reasons to go and play it. Sticker around, by the way, Fox. However, I deem that massive ammo sticker lost to the nether, says Cy Reynolds. I don't know why. I don't know why at all. It was put in an envelope, sent to you. Sorry about that, dude. I had one. It came from me to me, Yodel, so it was sent out. Did you? I don't understand. That was because they said basically they needed some extra postage because it was a big envelope, so maybe I just only put one stamp on it. So, but I don't know why that one's gone. Let's go. Kev Lawson, afternoon chaps. Hey Kev. Sorry, what did I miss? I was making myself a giant mug of hot chocolate and some bacon and cheese instant mashed taters, says Nim Cinderin. We were all slagging off Transformers, talking about video games actually for the last half hour. Destiny 2 is still in the box. Shrink wrap, says Kev Lawson. Get it out, get it installed, play it. It's if you've ever liked first-person shooters, Nobody beats Bungie at doing the first-person shooter mechanics. It's fantastic. Everything else about the game, but the mechanics of shooting is fun. I can sit there for 5 or 6 hours and just play Destiny by just grinding for materials or just grinding for whatever. Just the normal grind, and I'll still be happy because I'm shooting dudes in the head. And I've got to tell you, headshots in Destiny 2 are the best headshots I've ever found in a video game, apart from one. Up until Destiny came out, the best video game headshots were in Medal of Honor Frontline, where you headshot someone and it went pa-ting, you heard the pa-ting of the helmet, and you felt a little kick in your control, and that was the first time I come across it, and that was amazing. And then they did it again in Airborne, but that was a brilliant thing. But then Destiny 2 came out, and you get a headshot on a dreg, and you get the poof, and you get the splat noise, and you get the and you get the glowing, and the brilliant. You can't beat headshots in Destiny. Yeah, and then combine it with Tone Patrol. Tone Patrol, best weapon in the world. Tone Patrol with Dragonfly, so that when you hit them, they explode, and everybody around them explodes as well. Oh. If you haven't got Tone Patrol, you need to get Tone Patrol, and then abandon all your other scout rifles because they're just all nonsense. None of this Mida multi-touch and all those kind of... Tone Patrol. Tone Patrol is your friend. Going through the Warhammer gift book right now. So much stuff. I hope he draws my name, says Muse. I did in a week. Start playing last week, Monday, on and off. I did a Warlock. Once a Warlock, always a Warlock. I'm the same, but with Hunters. I've done Hunter to extinction. I've done Warlock. I've got to about level 30, I think. Titan, I got to about level 12. I did the same in Destiny, original Destiny. I played Hunter all the way through and then did the other two. Nothing quite gelled as much as Hunter. But yeah, Hunter in Destiny 2, not with Golden Gun, and not with the Night Bow thing, the purple bow doom thing, which has its uses, but Hunter with the throwing knives as the super. Oh yeah. Oh, and then I've got a perk on. I've got a perk on something. That means that I get the throwing knife, but if I get a hit, if I throw a knife and it hits, I get an instant reload of the knives, so I get 2 goes. I can't remember what it is, and it might be a perk. It's like I throw a knife and I can throw one again. Oh, brilliant, fantastic. Not your fault, but I blame Royal Mail. It's probably the right thing to do. God mode headshots in Destiny 2. You don't need God mode. You don't need God mode in Destiny. The stickiness of the reticle is just dead easy. So I say the one thing Bungie beats everybody else over, hands down, is gunplay and the mechanics of shooting, because they are just the best developer for that. They're just from the Halo days, console gaming, first-person shooting. Nobody can beat them. I mean, if you play on PC and you've got mouse and keyboard, of course none of that is relevant because the mouse you can aim straight away. But on a console, you've got sticks. Nobody beats Bungie. Nobody beats Bungie. Also, just got Thunderlord today, says Vamp. Yeah, I got Thunderlord, and I was like, I didn't recognise it at first. I'm like, oh, it looks nice, but it's a machine gun, well, whatever, and just scrapped it. And then I went, hang on a minute, we don't have light machine guns in Destiny 2. So I realised, hang on, is this a return to LMGs? And then I realised where it was from. I didn't realise, hang on a minute, When they first did the first ever trailer, or the first ever look at Destiny 2, when Bungie released, this is going for Destiny, original Destiny, going back, 6 years, that first ever view of the gameplay, where it was Jason Jones, because he was it Jason Jones? No, it was Joe Staten, because Joe Staten was still at Bungie at that point, and I think it was the studio manager whose name I can't remember, Harold something or other. Those two playing, and they were doing that first bit where you're going through the wall and you get to the little room and the guy comes out the hole in the wall. And he got a drop when he killed him, and he got this was like Thunderlord. It was called Thunder. It was this big massive LMG, and it was like, oh, that's nice. And that was the first time you ever saw Destiny being played, and that gun was in that, and it's a callback to that. But thankfully, now we've got collections, I can go back and get that gun, because I can go in any time. I can go and recreate it using a few legendary shards. So I might actually, now I'm not using my Wardcliffe coil as my rocket launcher. I could use it, but it's an exotic. So again, I can't use it and use my Soros Regime auto rifle. But there is one problem with not using the Wardcliffe coil. Is that whenever I launch into a big, if I'm doing the the public event where you got the glimmer extraction machine, you get big waves of dudes coming towards you. I used to like when they started all piling, when you're trying to protect the pile of glimmer, and you have to. I used to jump up in the air, unleash my Wardcliffe coil on the enemy, and just shout "Wardcliffe coil" dead loud, because that's kind of what I was known for. But I can't do that now. I've got like a grenade launcher. It just doesn't work. I might still do it and just shout Wardcliffe coil. I don't know. I love my Wardcliffe coil. But yes, I might actually. I forgot that it does lightning and thunder and stuff as well. I didn't realise that. So what I may need to do is actually recreate that weapon and just find out, because I might try a big LMG, because I never used it. I never used LMGs in the first game. I got the in the first Destiny. I got the Gjallarhorn. I got it quite early. Everybody else struggled to get it. I got it like really early drop. And I had Gjallarhorn. It was great because it had tracking cluster bombs. I'm like, yeah, that'll do me. So I just always use Gjallarhorn. Oh, I really want to go and play Destiny now, but I can't. I've got stuff to do. Oh. Model Vamp says no, because I said I got it and scrunched it. But you can recreate it. You just go into your collections and recreate it. It's no problem. Although everything I recreate out of the collections comes in at 493. So I'd have to level it up. So I probably will reproduce it. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm not doing any of these quests where you can get special weapons, because all the ones that like go and do this and go and do that, and then because one of the steps is always now go and beat 3 guys in Crucible. Well, I'm not going to play multiplayer, or go and do a Nightfall strike. No, I don't really do multiplayer, apart from when me and Paul and Chris do strikes, and that's just silly strikes. That's not doing Nightfall stuff. We're too inept to do Nightfall. Or it says go and do, do this and this, and right. And the last step in this quest to get this weapon is do a raid. That's not going to happen. I haven't got the patience for raiding, so. Yeah, but the thing about Destiny, I'll give it credit, is it's designed as a multiplayer game, an online co-op multiplayer game for raiding and striking. But to give them credit, it's perfectly playable as a single player game. The only bit you're going to miss is some equipment, some exotics, some raid drops. I can live with that. You might not get to full power level. I can live with that. It's an online multiplayer game that they made work, and I have to tell you. Remember when Xbox One was first announced, and they made that horrible gaffe of saying it's going to be online all the time, and it'll need to be online all the time. You can't, and everybody was like, no, don't think so, and it all went tits up basically. Have you noticed now how most games are online only? They have to be connected all the time to play them, always, all the time. 10 years, 6-7 years ago, when Microsoft said our console will be connected permanently, has to be online. You can't have it not connected. People were like just throwing their poop out of the window. You know what I mean? They were losing their stuff. 2 or 3 years later, most games are online, and nobody cares. There you go. There you go. They were ahead of the time. Although Don Matrick was a complete tosser. Yeah, he was not a good. Don Matrick was not a good boss for Microsoft. Agreed, Foxy. I hate team crap, honestly, says Muse. Yeah, I've no interest in raids, because I haven't got the patience for. I watched people do raids. It's like, wow, yeah, I wouldn't have the patience to do that. And I don't really do online stuff. So me, Chris and Paul will occasionally do like some strikes just for fun. And it's just for fun. We're not taking it seriously because we can do strikes. Dying alone sucks, says Vamp. Nah, single player all the way for me, mate. Aww. Right, well, I'm going to do bugger all work now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some stickers away, and then I'm going to go make some dinner. So, as usual, this has been one of those streams where I do very little work, and I've nothing to show for it, because I thought to myself, I need to motivate myself and get myself at the bench doing some decals for Jordan's build. The best way to motivate myself is to do a stream, because then I've got no choice but to sit at the bench. And then everything fell over. I had to go to the shops. YouTube was broken, and it was suddenly 4 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, so it'll be a 2-hour stream then. And then it was like, okay, so I'm not going to get anything done. Yeah. Now, I have a question. I did send out a load of stickers the other day. I've still got a couple of all the stickers that this is for Warhammer Sundays. All the stickers that needed to go out have gone out, as far as I know. The book for George, and George isn't watching, but George, if you do watch this, your books are still here. I need your address, amigo. because I haven't kept the emails that we've had before with your address. I need your address so I can send those Warhammer books to you. I also have a sticker here with Aviad Madar written on the back, the Gross Models one. But Aviad, I need your address, so let me know what your address is, dude. Because I don't. If you send me an email, if you win something and you send me an email with your name and address, I don't. As soon as I send that thing to you, I delete the email. I don't keep your personal stuff. Now I will guarantee you, if a sticker has been sent out to you in the last few days that you've won on Warhammer Sundays, it may well have a name on the back. I can guarantee you that will not be your name. Because I wrote everybody's name on the back and then I put them in a pile and I just go through the pile in order. So you've all got stickers with somebody else's name on. There you go. Right, so we'll do some stickers. Co-op is fun, says James Lorimer. Co-op is fun, but competitive multiplayer, nah. And co-op when it's two randoms that you don't know, I've no interest in that. Because you always get the two randoms that don't show up, which is ironic coming from me. Or you get two randoms that don't actually talk. And trying to do like a strike with two people who you can't communicate with kind of sucks. Ooh! Hello. I didn't even know where that came from. Blimey, really, that's Donna meat and chips, that was. Woo! Hello. I sword and punch, says James Lorimer. This seems like a thoroughly valid way of doing it. Solo strikes is the way to go, says Vamp. You can't do solo strikes. If you go into one, it forces you to join with two randoms. I wish you could. I'd love to try a strike by myself. I'd get absolutely battered, but it'd be fun. But you know, you can't. It automatically pairs you with two other people, and I wish they'd change that. Right, let's do some questions and answer giveaway things. I'm not going to go off emails I've been sent in because I don't want to get email up because it will break my iPad. So we'll just do 3 random questions. Let's do some random questions. Okay. Is everybody ready? Before we go ahead and do this, I don't even know how many people are watching. How many people are watching? 41. Wow, cool. If you're watching this and you can see this chat, where is it? This chat here, but you're not actually in the chat, then what you need to do is click on the YouTube icon that's... I've zoomed in, I can't see it. The YouTube icon that's down here, bottom right hand corner, and it'll take you to the YouTube page where you can see the chat. You want to join in the chat if you want to win the stickers. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay. Now, before we do that, you need to refresh your browser window because the video and audio will be out of sync, and also drag your slider across to the right. So I'll give you a second to refresh and drag, just so everything's in sync. Also gives me time to think of a damn question. Have you all dragged? Excuse you, Fox, he says me. I know, I didn't expect that big burp. Good burp though, gotta say. I'm a bloke, I find it funny. Yeah, you can. I forgot what I asked. Paul Walpole. Hey Paul, he says, sitting at work and about to go to lunch. I've been watching your Gyara Zulu build. Cool, welcome. Go tower, see if anyone's around. If not, do strike. You'll do it solo. Nah, it's always paired me with someone. Always paired me with someone. Then again, nowadays, who's still playing Destiny 1? I must go back and play it at some point. I'd start a new campaign, but there's some bits of it I don't want to do again, like any of the Hive stuff. Ooh. It's like, Bungie. You know, they made Halo, brilliant game, but they had the Flood, which, for certain parts, was just a major pain in the butt. It's like, oh great, this bit, it's the Flood. Then they've got Destiny, where again it's like, everything's brilliant. Oh look, it's the Hive, it's just the it's just like Zerg Rush, basically. So yeah, the Hive, they don't do me any favours. I just sent you 2 if you want to use them, Fox, says Nim. I don't want to try. I've kind of had to do a sort of wire up my iPad like Christmas lights to get chat working. I don't really want to touch it in case I lose chat, so I'll use them for Sunday, Nim. Dad, who's still in? Hey Dad, says Helgen35. Why did you just say Helgen35, Dad? Fox, I'll live stream solo strike just for you. Foxy, I'll live stream solo strike just for you. I want to try one. I would want to try a strike. It would be fun because you just get tons of enemies, and they'll be hard as nails on your own. But I take a cautious hang back approach. So anyway, let's do some questions. You've all dragged the thing by now and refreshed and stuff. Right. So first question is, Not in my head right now. Let's do a question. What can the question be? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Something just exploded outside. That sounds cool. Let's think of a question. I should plan these things. I can't go into email to check. 2 comments above mine, Fox. Oh, I see. Put what was Tony's channel again? Helgen something I know, but I see. Yes, Helgen35. Sorry, Dad. Yes, I'm being a bit obtuse today. Right. Questions, Fox. Come on, questions. Okay, right. This is a really easy question. It's what we've been talking about all day. It's what we're working on, and it's in the title of the goddamn video. Which mobile suit am I working on? Go. This one. Which one is it? Which one is it? First one to get it right gets a sticker. And on the sticker, I shall write the word polyps. Alpha Wolf 0623 says strike Rouge, fantastic. I shall write Alpha Wolf on this, and that guarantees that you probably won't get that sticker. You'll get a different one with somebody else's name on it. So well done, Alpha Wolf. You've won yourself a model making guru sticker. Sticks to anything, that. I've got one on the back of my car, on the outside of my car, and it hasn't come off yet. It's been there for a year, and that's in rain and snow and everything. So right, dang it, little, says Scale Model Muse. James Lorimer, I like Helgen35. Transformer, Dad says Transformer. Dad is banned. Shut up, Dad. Right. Let's have the next one. Next one is... Earlier on in the show, I mentioned an American food stuff that you can't get over here that I really wish I could. What was it? Go. I use the word food stuff loosely. Snack, let's say. What was the snack? See if you've been paying attention while I'm waffling. Alpha Wolf 0623 again. Slim Jim. Okay, I shall. You're increasing your chances of getting a sticker with your name on it. Alpha Wolf again. I've been paying attention. It was Slim Jim, and on this sticker I shall write the word flumps. I've decided to write just amusing words on the back of this. The sticker, you can throw it away anyway. So Alpha Wolf, well done, you've won 2. I'll tell you how to get these in a minute. Last question, don't forget, of course. Scale Model Muse says on my screen I was first. That's how YouTube works. When you type the answer and press send, you're sending it from your computer to your computer, so it's there instantly. In reality, you're sending it from your computer to YouTube, and I get them in the order that YouTube sees them. So I go off whichever one I get first. You'll see it instantly because it's just you're on your computer. If I typed an answer in, I'd be the first one because it's instantaneous. Yes, if you want to claim on the off chance that you don't win the next one, but you might do. Who can say at this point? All you need to do is send me an email to, where's the thing? Model making. Oh, look at that! It's gone down too far. Fox, hang on. I need to do something. Hang on. This might break the internet now. Ready? Look at that, magic! I didn't even see my hands move or anything. You didn't see my hands moving or anything then. It just moved. Oh, magic. Yes, just send an email to fox@modelmakingguru.com and say, hi, my name is Brr, my address is Brr, and I won 2 stickers or 3 stickers or 1 sticker or whatever you won. Just tell me you won a Guru sticker. Right, last sticker. So, yes, right. Ready? I shall do it the way you all know how I'm going to do it. I shall write a number on the back of my hand. And the number is... I'm going to tell you what the number is. Okay, ready? It is between 946 and 956. Go. $946, 956. It's a bit more than 42, Nim. You might need to aim a bit higher. Same for you, Dad. You're just being rude. Well, I have some good news for Scale Model Muse. It's 947. See, you did win something. Well done, Muse. SM Muse. There we go. And on this, I shall write the word Gimpatron. I don't know why, it's just in my head. There you go, Scale Model Muse. Well done, you've won yourself the sticker. Now I can guarantee you 100% that you won't get one of the, you won't get the one that's got your name on it. You'll probably get, I mean, you'll probably get one with, like, I've got a pile of them with other people's names on, so, because I did all the ones that people had won, and I still had a load left with names on, so I must have, like, mixed in some unsigned ones. So you just get a random name. Who knows who'll get what. So yes, well done you three. Or two even. So send me an email, fox@modelmakingguru.com. Just tell me you've won a Guru sticker, and or two in your case, Alpha Wolf, and I'll get them sent out to you. I do them usually once a month. I go to the post office, so don't panic if they're not there in a week or two. I know one of you's in the US, so I'll wait till I do the next lot of shipping out. It's usually within 2 to 3 weeks, so I'll get them posted out with all the other ones. What's happening in chat? I typed 69 first, says Scale Model Muse. Yay, Muse, says Dad. No, Muse, get out of my head. Nice game, Mrs. Vampy. Dave Barker back. Sorry I had to walk Elise's friend home. Dave, you've just missed all the sticker giveaways. Muse says she's the queen of the weirdos. I don't know, you've not met some of my friends. Dude, I'm in the US, says James Lorimer. I know that. You didn't win anything yet. You haven't won any stickers on here, so I know one of you, Alpha Wolf and Muse, one of you is in the US. I don't know where one of you is, and I don't know where the other one is. I know where one is, not where the other one is. So there you go. Anyway, right, we're gonna do any more work? No. Am I gonna do any more decals? No. I'm going to go and make some dinner because I'm now having the hungries. I may possibly, I might not be, but I may see, as everything's set up, I may possibly join in Chris at Gross Models, his live stream tonight. He's doing a Gross Models live stream over on the YouTube channel Gross Models, G-R-O-S. It's that one. It's that one, you can see there, Gross Models. He's doing a live stream tonight, just him and people from his little hangout joining in. If you're in his little gross gang on Facebook, make sure you're going to pop. I'm going to see if I can pop in and join in just for a bit. I might be tied up doing something else. I might be just, you know, too tired. I don't know, but I'll see if I can pop in. I've got all the camera and stuff set up. But that's on the Gross Models channel tonight, 8 PM GMT. So do pop along and hang out with him. He will probably do sticker giveaways. I guess he's got his own stickers. I don't know what else he'll do. He might do some other bits. But yeah, go and join in. I might join in on that. Get me doing some more decals. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's only been a quick stream, couple of hours. But I'll do more. I've still got decals to do, so I might do another one of these. I just don't want to. You know, impact on anybody else's live streams. So thank you very much for watching. I might, if I do another one of these, because I've still got decals to do, I'll just do it. I won't necessarily put a thing up saying it'll be tomorrow at this. I'll just be like, hey, I'm live. Come and watch. But thanks to everyone who joined in and watched. 41 of you apparently still watching. Cheers, folks. Do take care. It's almost weekend time, so get planning for your weekend happy times. Don't forget, I'll be around on Sunday for Warhammer Sundays. That's 3 PM GMT on Sunday, where I'll be doing my Warhammer-y nonsense. Don't forget, as always, do go and join the Model Makers Boom Hut on Facebook. It's facebook.com/groups/Model Boom Hut. BOOM. It's the best place on the internet for hanging out, talking about model making and showing off your stuff, and you'll make lots of new friends. And don't forget, if you'd like to help support this channel, you can do. You can support me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Every little helps. It keeps the lights on. This is my income. This is what I do for a living, so it keeps me going and keeps me above. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Keeps my head above water. I've got to pay the bills and everything else. It's all the boring life stuff. So do feel free to pop along. There are various advantages. You can go from as little as $1 up to whatever you want to do. If you're one of the $100 or more top tier guys, you will get every 12 months a master grade gunpla built and painted at your whim. So there you go. Anyway, I'll go away now. Take care of yourselves. I'll go and get the music ready, because I never do. I never get this ready. Go and take care of yourselves. Until next time, until Sunday. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until then, adios amoebas.